Hello, you beautiful people. How's it going? We are showing the wrong thing off here. Where is that Songs of Rage chap? I've heard he's locked in a basement. That's what I've heard, anyway. How are you, DJ? You doing alright? Currently working, if I remember correctly, aren't you? What is everyone up to this evening, anyway? You excited for the full reveal? It's not a question you should ask me, DJ, today. I'm not doing too well. I think there's some sort of sickness going around this house today because girlfriend's not feeling too well. She's throwing up. I'm feeling really, really sicky as well. But we plough on through for the World Slayer reveal. How's it going, Fluff? How's it going, Cedric? Yeah, Falconator is Songs of Rage. It's his personal account where he likes to hide out. Yeah, as I'm not doing the best, but I can't really complain too much. I'm excited for tonight anyway, or today. For in an hour's time, well, 55 minutes is when it's all getting released. And I can tell you, it's some exciting stuff. Ah, it's Aaron from YouTube. Yeah, it's great to see you on the Facebook. We've got we're streaming on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube at the moment. So if you do hear me talk to anyone, I'm thinking, hang on, who's he talking to? Like, I've not seen that person's name pop up. It's because we are on three different platforms at the moment. How's it going, Sweet by Bungie? Welcome back. I'm sure I recognise that name. Then we've got Tempest as well. Welcome, welcome. How is it going? Oh, look what it is. World Slayer broadcast coming today. Hakeem, yep, they're releasing information on World Slayer. So I think it's going to be, to my knowledge, they're going to let you know everything. So the only thing... Can I say that? Don't know if I can say that. But yeah, so we're going to sort of sit and talk about World Slayer for now. Then we're going to have the broadcast is on at 5. So we'll watch that together. Oh yeah, Sentinel, yes, no, yeah. I remember Sentinel, yeah. I remember you popping by now. Yeah, so we'll talk about World Slayer for a bit now. Of what you guys want to see in it, what you're hoping for, what you believe is going to be in there. And then we'll watch together at 5 o'clock. And then as soon as the broadcast is over, then we can talk about the details of it. Favorite game of last year, played about 80 hours over the Easter 80 over the Easter holiday. Jeez, that is a decent amount. How's it going, Stay Husk? Welcome to the stream. It's been a while since I've seen you pop by, to be fair. No, we're looking forward to it. We're excited for the stream a little later. Tempest, don't worry, we have all the details for you. If you want to, so if you leave work at 5, you might be able to catch our video at past. You haven't slept yet, as excited to see what World Slayer is. Ooh. Now, well, I'm excited to see the reaction to it all. So we will be watching it here. I got sick, and that's unfortunate. We're not doing too well in this household today, to be fair. What's ailing yourself? Hopefully it's not the dreaded COVID. It's just something a little bit milder. Yeah, let's say Tempest. We've got a video going live at 5:30, which I think you'd be interested in watching. What's the biggest change or additions that I'm hoping for? Honestly, I want there to be some great longevity to this game. So I'm hoping that we do get a really good addition to. Obviously, we've got the current end game now with the drop pods and whatnot. I'm hoping that we do get. I'm hoping we get more expeditions. I know it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. I am hoping we do get some more expeditions, but I hope that there is something else as well. I hope that we get to see something bigger than the expeditions, so maybe like a raid or a horde node. I'd be very surprised if they don't announce a horde node. Yeah, it's great to see new content is going to be coming.
I need you to disable their operation. Push your way through the slums, reach that chemical plant, and terminate any bastard you find.
Yeah, survival mode, that is, or survival mode, horde mode, that is something that I would absolutely love to see. Yeah, like Tempest says, New Horizons was good, but seemed to be over far too quickly. I think because it was only 4 expeditions, there wasn't a lot that you can do with the 4 expeditions. So there's obviously the secrets that you can find. Did I just do that? No one. I did do that. No one. Yeah, obviously with the secrets that you could find in the New Horizon update, that was good fun. Added some longevity to it as well, trying to obviously get you fastest times in the latest expeditions. But like you say, it didn't add a substantial amount. So I'm hoping that they add like an end game that has a very substantial amount that you can just come back to every day. You can just keep playing, trying to improve on something, not necessarily a time as such. But just something you can come back to, and it's going to be maybe something different every time as well. So if it's like procedurally created levels, potentially, I doubt it would be that, but if it could be something like that would be brilliant. Hopefully we can travel to different worlds in Destiny 2. If I'm being honest, I think the focus on Outriders is Enoch, isn't it? It's all about Enoch. Whether they would do something different, I'm not too sure on that one as it stands. But that would be something great to see, like new sort of terrain and stuff as well. And they obviously they did quite a few different things with New Horizon. They added like verticality to levels and whatnot. So it'd be interesting to see what they've done. They've obviously grown as a team, as a developer, and potentially get a lot of new stuff in there, new features and whatnot. So it'd be great to see what they actually drop in the video, in the broadcast tonight. Now, what's your opinion when World Slayer? What do you mean, opinion on when it comes out, as to whether I'm excited about it or? If you're asking when does it come out, and that should be revealed in, well, should start to reveal in the next 40 odd minutes. Is it free or not? Can't answer that one. But we can travel to different worlds like Destiny 2. Because I can't answer that one yet. So we can't answer any questions about World Slayer itself just yet. But we can talk about what you guys want to see. So what is it that you are actually hoping for or expecting to see in the broadcast today? How's it going, Dake? Just get rid of these and I'll read the chat again in a second. Oh, no, then. Love the stories, hope for an expansion on that. Not sure how though. That is something that would be great to see. Personally, I think they could continue the Outriders franchise for a long while. That what we've seen on Enoch is not going to be the full story, the be it and end all. So, I mean, I'm hoping that this franchise continues for years to come. Hopefully, we get like an Outriders 2 at some point. I think it mostly depends on how well World Slayer is received. Really, if people if it's received well, then it's gonna sort of prompt them to do more. If it's something that people don't really come back to, then it's gonna unfortunately prove that maybe it's not. I don't want to say it's not worth doing, because I think there's a big enough. How do I do it? There's a big enough love for this game, really. I mean, when it first launched, there was, on Steam alone, there was 100,000. Please don't kill me. Yeah, there's 100,000 players, wasn't there? Which I don't think they expected. But it's great to see. It's a one and done game that people want extra things live service has.
All I'm missing is some elevator music.
I mean, the People Can Fly, I'm pretty sure, didn't People Can Fly do one of the Gears of War games? So they definitely have the experience in making a Gears of War-esque kind of game, and I feel like that does show with this as well. How's it going, Robbie? You're not seeing my Y fronts. I forgot I had to press that button then. How's it going, Corner? How's it going? So if I do miss any messages, just repeat them, because I'm bound to miss something. I will scroll up into the chat very shortly and see what may have been missed. I'm going to try, sorry, Yagak with Dake's Trickster build. And Yagak, well, he can be a pain at the best of times. I feel like Yagak sometimes, it doesn't matter what you do to him. Or what other classes you have with you. So if you've got a debuff Pyro, sometimes even that doesn't matter. I believe all that information will be coming, Kurgorn. So at 5 o'clock we will find out every little detail like that, and then obviously we can start talking about the finer details as well. it's great to see there's quite a few people popping by in the chat anyway, so keep them coming with your suggestions as to what you want to see. So we've got Law says want to see trade items. That is something I'm neither for nor against. I think it makes it nice because like, you might get a death shield, say 99.6 firepower. You've already got one, you don't need it. Give it to your friend, and that is great to see when that happens in games. Like you can do it with Tiny Tina's. At the same time, I think the grind of this game is what makes it replayable and fun. IGN have posted what's the video they posted then? So there shouldn't be any details out just yet. Puff says you mentioned after. I'll scroll back to yours in a moment because I know I did see you mentioned something about live service and raids. I didn't get a chance to read that one, so I'll go through that one in a sec. Ooh, bugger off. Well, I just saw dedicated servers and more people. So we talked to the developers about more people around about the drop of New Horizon. It's something that can be done or could have been done. The problem is that I think like the difficulty just became disproportionate.
What did you do with it?
So it was almost like 4 people, the game was too easy, 3 people, you get a challenge.
Some lives today, Outriders.
I mean, whether they probably could do something to change that.
Access granted.
Who's to say that it's not something that's going to come out? But we'll find out very shortly. 40 minutes to go. What we get? Trespassers armor. That's a high pistol, isn't it? 65.5. I'm going to take that. I think pistols are quite low from what I remember. It's been a while since I played Outriders, if I'm being honest. Division raid is 8. Yeah, no, that is true. So if they did something like that, maybe they could bring out endgame raids, for example, and they have what we're on now, 3 people. They could have 6 people or something. But fingers crossed, that's something they could maybe talk about in the broadcast. So let's just scroll back through the chat a moment. Law says, so this is what I missed. Dake says hello. So hello, Dake. We got Poof says this game is not even live service for people to want raids, etc. Stuff that live service games have, but since the beginning they could have made it live service. But because it's what they made, it seemed like, and people got confused. I think there was a confusion with live service. Live service doesn't necessarily mean they won't update it and balance it as such. Live service is many things, really. Not limited to, but obviously including constant modification to weapons, constant events and stuff like that. So I think, in a way, it does, from the outside, almost look like it's a live service, but it's not quite, really. Law says they want to see new weapons and gears. I think, let's be honest, everyone wants to see that, don't they? Everyone wants something new, new gear, new weapons. I think everyone's going to say that that's something they want to see. Scroll down. Fluff McJohnson on Twitch, because we are on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube at the moment. So Fluff says that he loved the story. Hopefully he wants an expansion on that. I think you did mention that. It's a one-and-done game that people want extra things. It is almost a one-and-done game, but at the same time, that the end game does allow it to be replayed as much as you want. Really, you've got the expeditions, and you can try and beat the times as well. So obviously you don't have the timer by default now, but you can still add that back in. But yeah, it's I'd say it's a bit of a combination of a one and done and also a bit of a sort of so you can keep coming back to. Great to see you playing Trickster. Yeah, I do love the Trickster deck, to be fair. Bulwark. The problem I have with the Bulwark is it's a bit shorter ranged, but it is a brilliant gun at the end of the day still. Hakim, I'd actually like more campaign. For me, the game is more of a gear. Oh yeah, that's why we did talk about that one, didn't we, as well? Trickster's his main. I think Trickster did sort of turn out to be my main. I think it was originally the Pyro. And then I tried out the Trickster, and I just fell in love with the Trickster after that. Hope it continues as well as it has a main story. Good gameplay. 1 more hour till it goes. Yeah, one more. Well, 36 more minutes now, Corner, and then we get to find out all the big details, and then you can ask us any question about World Slayer, and we can answer that for you. I want to see if you can trade items. Gone through that. Y-fronts, Robbie, we're not showing that. It's not a live service this week. Be back to the live service one and done. I say I don't think they planned ever for DLC to come out for it. So, in fact, New Horizon and World Slayer is actually something that's done sort of after the release, because it was quite a popular game on release. Like I say, 100,000 players on day one alone, and that's just on Steam. I think that sort of sold it to them that they should spend time actually developing the game further. Stay here says half an hour it starts. Terrell mentioned the IGN post. Yeah, if you got any more than 4 players, yeah, you would start getting into the sort of raid territory. Obviously, with this, you have one of each class you could have if you had 4 players, or you could go for like two Pyros, 1 Trickster, 1 Techno, and go for like the debuff damage sort of thing. Hated the timer. So Charles hated the timer removal, which I can see that. It did make it good fun trying to get that time. So when we missed out, I think me and Songs missed out on a couple of occasions by 1 second, and we made it by 1 second from time to time as well. And it's the frustration, but also the celebration that you get when you actually do hit it. Open world chat, yeah, it would be nice to have in-game chat anyway. So if you join a random team, you can chat with the people in there. If you don't want to chat to people, you just mute your microphone, don't you? Or you can set yourself to a party chat only or something. Global chat, give a game some life. Yes, but tells me you want to nip to the loo. Would be a major. I do agree. That would be a bonus. Just being able to actually chat to people would be great, I must say. Terrence, hi guys, great to be here. Great to have you here. Right, so we have 24. Oh, that has taken 26 minutes to do one. It's 26 minutes to do one expedition. How's it going, Mr. Gunny? Welcome to the stream. We have Mr. Gunny on Twitch, so just a reminder, we do have Twitch, we have Facebook, and we have YouTube streaming at the moment. So if you want to hop in to either or all of them, if you want to help support, get that Twitch stream open, give us the extra views and whatnot. To be honest, when the game got released, and also including the beta, the devs weren't ready for people to like or enjoy the game, but again, people got confused on the live service part, which they clearly said no. Yeah, I fully agree. I don't think it was a case of the developers didn't think people were going to like the game as such. I think it was more that they were not expecting such a high amount of people to actually play the game straight away. I mean, that wasn't even... We've chatted about this as well with the developers. The issues as well on day one wasn't actually anything to do with the number of players that were trying to play the game. It was actually an issue with some kind of issue with the database. which they sorted out, and that fixed the server side issues and whatnot. But yeah, I think the sheer numbers that started meant that they just realised this is something we should continue to actually develop upon, should I say. Not everyone likes using bullet builds or debuff pyros. 100%. I would love to see anomaly. So well, the shift moved more towards anomaly again. The game is definitely at the moment built towards firepower. How fast can you shoot things and kill them? But I think if they could change it up a bit and shift it so the balance between anomaly and firepower is on a more equal playing field, you'd start to see a lot more builds, a lot more varied builds anyway. Tempest doesn't shoot a gun with this dev, so no time limits is fine for me. I think the no time limit made a lot of other builds viable. It meant that you didn't have to go for the meta. You didn't have to go for the death shield with hunt the prey, twisted rounds and time rift and whatnot. You could do whatever you wanted. You could go for the cyclone build if you wanted to, and just sort of survive it out, take less damage, got more shield, etc., etc. I think removing the timers did a brilliant job for that, but I can see why some people still want the timers. I mean, you got people like Play-Doh Bear, loves to do his time trials, loves to try and get the fastest times in the world, and yeah, they still have that. So if we go into the options. And I believe it's under gameplay. I think it is somewhere. There is a way to turn the timers back. I can't remember where it is. I have to go through each and every one of those. I can't remember where it is, but yeah, so you can turn the timers back on if you want to. So like I say, it is something you can do. If you love the timers, go for it. Obviously, you won't get any better rewards for going quickly, so it's more for your own bragging rights in a way. Dev has been a race lately between AP and FP. I think I actually don't have a Devastator. Well, I do. I don't have one that I've actually leveled through. If I'm being honest, it was my least favourite sort of looking class. So I think it's up to level 50, but I've not really geared it out. I've not really gone for the best of the best. But I would definitely say it probably is closer to an AP build kind of class than it is an FP. Fluff says, not sure if I'm just an idiot, but would also be nice if emotes selected do not reset all the time. I can't say I've noticed that, to be honest, but I don't tend to use mine too often. Yeah, maybe it is time to build up the dev. I would like to play him at some point, but it's just a case almost of getting around to doing it and whatnot.
Now you know the clusterfuck I'm dealing with.
There's something new. They added the Ascension level. What's the Ascension level then? Just a reminder as well, if anyone does mention, oh, they've added this in, they've got that in, is this in, is that in, it's It's not something that we are allowed to say yes, no. So anything that you do say will be neither confirmed nor denied. You can say what you want to see in, and we can say if that's something we'd love to see in as well. But nothing will be confirmed or denied until 5 PM. I hope they give us a reason to use sniper rifles. I love the sniper rifle setups on Techno. Yeah, I do think snipers were a little bit underrated, really, or underachieved. It would be nice to see them have some sort of a buff, something that can be used a lot more. No, we'll find out at 5 o'clock all the details, but we can only talk about what we know as of 5:30. But we will find out a lot of the details from the broadcast, I'm sure. Zaran asks, will it come out this weekend? Again, that's not something we can say. And like, personally, we can't say anything until 5:30. But we will be watching the broadcast on here, and I'm sure questions like that should be answered within there. Was that 2 ironclads inside of each other then? Nah, the sniper rifles were definitely tough to play with. They're not the most user-friendly of weapons to use, especially if you're a console or controller user. So aiming with the mouse and keyboard is so much easier. It's definitely with the sniper rifles. My favourite actually probably would be like the one-shot rifles, especially the ones that you'd have a mod on there that would be on reload or on first bullet. Got a little close there, didn't it? Starts in 10 minutes. That's probably going to be like the pre-log sort of thing. You're not going to have any details in the first 10 minutes, or in the next 10 minutes, shall we say? But we will, in a moment, we'll head over to the Outriders YouTube. We'll stick the video up ready. Boom, 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 boom.
Coast looks clear.
Are we there yet? No. If you keep asking, I'll turn this car around.
And naturally, it's landed on the insurgent side. Can't let him have it.
This is where I get killed. Mistakes were made. Oh. Well, we'll hop in a moment anyway and see what's going on. But I'd say I think Pretty sure it's 5 p.m. kickoff. And I believe we'll have about 10, 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes of stuff to go through. And then it's all questions can be directed towards us. So Mr. Songs of Rays will be here with us as well. At 5, I believe. Yeah, he should be here. He should be here in 21 minutes, hopefully. Ben's been quite busy, I believe, really. He's been, I say I believe, as if I don't know. Yeah, Ben's been quite busy. Going on holidays and work and whatnot, to be honest. He's, I think busy this weekend. He's going to the beach this weekend, I believe, as well. So he's busy.
You again. What a waste of your last words.
That's what we like to see. Yeah, we'll try and get him back around at some point soon. He's, like I say, he's just been very busy recently. Bearded gamer.
Remember that freak I fought last time? The one who nearly buried me alive?
Am I gonna have to dig you out of the rubble again?
Outriders
Not this
detected.
time. He
Access
stung his
granted.
last, and the pod's ours.
So if we hop over then in a second, once this loot has popped out, we'll see what legendaries we've got. 'Cause it's going to be 3 legendaries guaranteed. 1, 2,
Explain to me why that
3. Oh,
didn't
okay.
ram the rest of them?
All the chances.
Maybe it got stuck in the tube. Maybe it just wanted to fuck with us.
All the same. Hell of a job, Outrider. Hell of a job.
So yeah, we'll head and check out the. Do we do Twitch or do we do YouTube? Let's head on over to their YouTube, shall we? If we can find it. Let's just mute that. So yeah, so we've got the broadcast up and ready now. So let's get that full screen. There we go. So yeah, so we've got 17 minutes until it does come on. So yeah, we are excited. Like I say, once we are once it has finished, we can then talk all the details. So there will be some things that won't be in the broadcast, I'm sure. If there's any clarifications that you want, so we have been gathering the information for you, let's say. Let's see what Tiago's got for us. Let's go for a random ledger, shall we? Let's go for it. Let's go. Than I was expecting, to be honest. Ah, cannonball. That armor that we all know and love. Actually, you know what? If you ask me what would I love to see in World Slayer, it would be the cannonball gear getting a big upgrade. I'd love to see the cannonball gear have something that makes it worth actually using. Oh, let's treat ourselves to a biscuit. Dallas, welcome. It's been a while. You had no clue it's coming today? Well, stick around and you'll have all the details very shortly. So we've got 15 minutes before this stream actually goes live. We should have Mr. Songs of Rage with us as well to talk about it. And yeah, we have a lot of details for you that we can share with you once the broadcast is over. At 5:30, we do have a video going live as well, so if you want to watch that, that will have all the details in there as well. Is World Slayer online? It's as online as Outriders is at the minute. So it will be multiplayer. Will be you can play it solo. You can play it up to 3 players. Yeah, fingers crossed, Dallas. We'll have the release date in the broadcast. I'm sure. No confirmations of anything just yet, but I'm sure they'll do something to get everyone pumped, ready for knowing when it will come out. So still got a few of you in the chat. What are you all hoping to actually see in this? How's my morning been? A lot of vomit. Let's put it that way. I've had better days. One thing I have managed to get done though. Don't know how many of you are interested in Hunt Showdown, but 3D printing one of the one of the guns from it. So we'll get that put together and properly painted over the next couple of days. Oh dear. But how have you been anyway, Dallas? You been doing alright? So if we go into the Facebook, actually we do have a countdown now on on the broadcast. Let's have a look. There's plenty of people. There's 990 people currently waiting to watch the broadcast on YouTube. Hoping they show off maybe another version of the end game. Yeah, I'm hoping that with the new end game, if there is one, I'm hoping it's going to be a what's it called? It's like a horde mode or survival mode. That is what I'm hoping for. That's going to give some good longevity to the game, I think, and also hopefully some new expeditions on top of that as well. Don't be thinking about projectile vomiting, DJ. Not good. There's over 1,000 people watching the YouTube broadcast now. So I think there's definitely some hype around it. I mean, with New Horizon, I think they went up to about 15,000 people watching it. So hopefully we get those kind of numbers again. And we get some good amount of people come back to the game as well. Armando says new skill tree, more gear, 3 mod slots. I think all of those would be great ideas, to be fair. I have seen, so I was looking on the Reddit this past week, and there have been a lot of people saying whether they'll be for or against things like 3 mod slots. It is actually quite a split community, I think. There's say that about 50% of people wanted it, 50% of people don't want it, which I'm quite surprised that it's quite evenly split from what I could see. Do you think we'll have to buy the DLC? Can't confirm nor deny anything that's there, unfortunately. Or that's not there that we haven't seen yet. Already in the game. So what are everyone's thoughts on, I know a lot of people want, and a lot of people again don't want, PvP in the game. What would be your thoughts on that? Don't need 2 of them, do we? Just gonna get rid of some of these legendaries whilst they're there. I've got duplicates that we don't need. There we go. No PvP. I mean, it'd definitely be interesting to see if they could do something like that, but at the same time, I think I do enjoy Outriders for the PvE side of things. Yeah, we've got Fluff here in Twitch saying if they had PvP, people can choose not to play it, but I prefer to focus on other content first. And 100%, like it'll be a choice, wouldn't it, if it was something that's implemented. Whether I think it would add to it or take away from the game, I don't think it needs it personally. But never against any additions that games go for that they try and add in. I'm all for innovative ideas. So whatever they do, I'm happy to go and see. Yeah, balancing would be a very very big thing. IGN posted some details. If they have posted some details, and I think somebody might be getting a slap on the wrist. Where have they posted that? Is that on their actual website, or have they have they dropped a video on it or anything like that? Just realised the chat box actually disappeared. We've got it on there now, so we can see the chat from all different streams now. Should come up on the actual stream itself. New class, more AP focus. Nice level cut scene to sing to. To sing to. So you want a nice cutscene to sing to. You want you want Outriders the musical. I mean, I would be down for Outriders the musical if they did like a episodic kind of style of DLC. I'm like, oh, episode 2. Oh, that's the that's the sing-along DLC. That would be that would be interesting to see. Defeat Yagak with the power of music. I think the problem with IGN is they are such a big company that if they did release anything like that, if they released it a week early, then they'll just get a slap on the wrist. Oh, please don't do that. Yeah, I'll be showing the broadcast here. That the problem is that there may be some copyrighted music in it at points, so I might need to mute it possibly, or we could just go ahead and allow the music, and we'll probably share any revenue on the stream. We don't get too much revenue on streams, to be fair, anyway, so it's not going to be the worst. But personally, I think I'm happy to just play the stream with sound on. But let's close down the game for now. We can hop back into the game afterwards whilst we talk about what we've seen in the broadcast and what we know from our adventures, I shall say. We have 3 minutes until the actual reveal. Premieres on YouTube and Twitch, and I believe they have it on Facebook as well. Although Facebook does say 5 minutes for some reason. Am I behind on that? No, I am live, but Facebook, they are a little bit behind apparently. A Banshee class. So what would be a Banshee class in your mind, and what you think with that? Are you thinking something that uses sound as a weapon, as a means of defense? Right, so if we quickly switch over, turn that off, turn that... no, yep, that's right. Close all that. Blah, 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 blah. Let's make it... Make it full screen. So yeah, I think we've got it Twitch or...
Landed with a jarring.
So there we go then. After this bloody Twitch advert.
Them in practice. Belly down.
I've still got 2 minutes according to them apparently, but according to my clocks, we are now on 5 o'clock, so we do have. Hopefully, the the release should be imminent. This is all pre-planned, so I doubt they're going to change the time at any point. So they're going to have a countdown as well on the YouTube one, to be fair. So we'll switch between the two and see which one comes on first. I'm guessing it's going to be the Twitch one, to be fair. Yeah, see you later, Tempest. Have a nice, safe drive home. Outriders is a musical banshee class. There we go. We'll watch it on YouTube, and it's on a little bit earlier on YouTube, so we'll sit and watch this now.
We shall see victory! A great new altered fights at our side!
They asked you to help them. Why didn't you?
My war is with the worst of our kind. They will destroy us all.
I've heard such terrible, terrible things about you. How many of my people did you kill? Just to reach us?
There's a walk through the bones, there's a rattle of death. I only got myself to blame. I only got myself to blame.
Let's go indeed, Spindrift. Let's go.
Well, hello there, people. My name is Lucy, and welcome back to another Outriders broadcast. Today, I am very excited because we get to finally reveal to you Outriders Worldslayer. Now, we first teased the existence of Worldslayer back in November last year, where we also introduced the free New Horizon update, which saw us add a whole plethora of quality of life improvements and content to the game. And ever since then, we have been hard at work on Outriders Worldslayer. But what exactly is it? Let's get to it, people. Today, I present to you Outriders Worldslayer, the reveal trailer.
Enjoy.
There's a reckoning coming. Two paths diverge before you, Outrider. One leads to a new beginning, and the other to pain.
If we don't find a way to stop what's coming, there will be nowhere for us to hide.
You've been fighting for so long
Popcorn? I probably should
that
have bought
you've
some.
lost sight of what is true. There is no saving humanity. Humanity is already dead.
And there's the release date, everyone. So we do have a
We
release
just
date
had a
there.
glimpse into the story of Outriders Worldslayer, introducing new threats like a Reshkagal, the dark altered overlord of the insurgents. You want to know more, don't you? Well, we won't leave you hanging there. In fact, I think I have just the right person for the job. Here is our resident expert on all things Worldslayer, Sven. Take it away.
So you want to know what awaits you in Outriders Worldslayer? Think you're ready? Well, let me tell you, you are not. Here we go! Okay, you've beaten Outriders, called down the drop pods, and crushed every expedition to become supercharged demigods, roaming the battlefields of Enoch. But that doesn't mean your Outriders can kick back and relax just yet.
No. I didn't believe in it. But the anomaly, it's growing.
In Outriders Worldslayer, we see the anomaly has continued to evolve, rising to the challenge that you, the Outriders, have presented. Frost storms and blizzards now ravage the land at a speed that even Enoch's hyper-evolved monstrosities struggle to adapt to. And as if this wasn't bad enough, Ereshkigal, the commander of the human insurgent faction, has her own designs in mind for the future of humanity on Enoch.
It gets better every day.
Against impossible odds, the Outrider will have to push themselves to their limits to help Enoch see another day. If you want humanity to survive this frozen onslaught, you will need to travel to some of the furthest reaches of Enoch. New lands, of course, also bring new horrors. And Outriders Worldslayer doesn't just introduce new enemy variants, it adds entirely new adversaries. These all formulate a pretty scary gang of beasts and bosses, who are very eager to say hello. Unsure if your current gear will be good enough for these adventures? Yeah, well, it isn't, but not to worry. Outriders Worldslayer adds a bunch of new loot for you to hunt down, including badass weaponry as well as class-specific and universal legendary armor sets. More on that topic a bit later. For now, let's have a look at our biggest new features. The packs drew strength from the anomaly in their own way. By exploring their past, you too will be able to unlock a secondary skill tree, which adds 2 more subclass branches for each of the original classes. Points for these new pack/class trees unlock after completing significant events in Outriders Worldslayer. But even a new skill tree won't be enough to reach the highest echelons of difficulty. As an altered, you will still need to ascend. Ascension is the new long-term progression system introduced in Outriders Worldslayer. Step by step, it will allow you to improve your endurance, your brutality, your prowess, and even the anomaly power itself. With up to 200 ascension points to unlock, continued ascension progress will be a constant companion in Outriders Worldslayer. even over hundreds of hours of play. Sound good? Of course it does, but we're not done yet. Outriders World Slayer introduces Apocalypse tiers, which will be replacing challenge tiers, even when playing expeditions. Apocalypse tiers will be active across all World Slayer content, and will go up to level 40. That means a new higher level cap of level 75 gear 2. Speaking of gear, Apocalypse tiers also introduce Apocalypse gear. A third mod slot will propel your gear to its most destructive form yet. And in combination with the many new and brutal mods coming with World Slayer, well, let's just say you'll be able to bring some unseen crazy firepower to the table. Whew, that's already a lot to take in. Throughout the Outriders World Slayer campaign, you'll already have your hands full of dealing with Ereshkigal and her minions. However, if you do manage to get past her, well, the true endgame still awaits. The Trial of Tarja Kratar. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. That, my friends, is the tale for another spotlight.
Now, you've seen just some of what World Slayer has in store for you, and we are really excited for you to finally experience the next step in the Outriders universe. It brings a brand new campaign where you go toe-to-toe with the powerful, altered Ereshkigal. We're extending the world tier system, and these are now called Apocalypse tiers and go all the way up to level 40. Here, you'll find new weapons and gear with a third mod slot, and we call this Apocalypse Gear. And there will be new mods for you to find and equip, such as Omen and Noxious Spawns. Happy hunting! You'll also be able to develop your power through the patch trees, which allow you to boost and further diversify all 4 of your classes. And if all that wasn't enough, the Trial of Tarja Kratar, our new endgame, combined with the new Ascension system, will push even the most experienced Outriders to their limits and beyond. To close out today's show, we're going to bring on our community maestro, Robbie, to preemptively answer any of the burning questions we expect you to have about World Slayer. Is he a cartoon or is he a real human? Who knows? But here he is.
Thanks, Lucy, and hello, everyone. In this community section, we're going to go over some of the final points in World Slayer. So, without further delay, let's just jump right in. We've built World Slayer for both existing players and new players alike. The original game, with all of our updates, improvements, and new heroes and content, is also included with World Slayer. The new World Slayer campaign picks up right after the end of the original, and if you want to, you'll be able to start World Slayer with a completely fresh character that has been boosted to level 30, so you won't be lagging behind your friends if you are a newbie and they're hardened veterans. And don't fret about skipping ahead to World Slayer, you'll be able to still progress through World Slayer first and then jump back into the original game's content. So if you're a complete newbie and you pick up World Slayer, you'll have everything included. But what about existing players? Well, if you're a returning Outriders player, then firstly, welcome back. Secondly, we've got you covered too, with the World Slayer upgrade option. If you buy the upgrade option on the same platform you purchased Outriders on, all World Slayer content will be seamlessly integrated into your base game. Your characters and all your progress, armor, weaponry will be waiting right there for you when you face the new trials ahead. Of course, there will always be questions about the length of content, and World Slayer was developed with having a long-term progression system in mind. The main campaign in World Slayer will get you back into the swing of things, but every true looter shooter fan knows it's the end game and the loot hunt where you'll be investing the lion's share of your hours. Of course, throughout all of this, you'll be pushing your Apocalypse tiers as well as your Ascension tiers ever higher, keeping the game challenging whilst also min-maxing your characters to the nth degree. To that end, we expect the search for new legendary gear and sets, and especially the hunt for apocalypse variants of said gear to keep you very engaged for a very long time. Oh, and one last thing before you go. We know the wait for the game is never fun, so if you pre-order either Worldslayer or the Worldslayer upgrade digitally, you will get 48 hours early access to the new mysteries that await. We hope that answers a lot of your burning questions on Worldslayer that you may have. Be sure to send your follow-up questions to the official Outriders social channels and give us a follow for the latest news on Outriders. We are so excited for you to all jump into Worldslayer on June 30th. Back to you, Lucy.
Thank you, Robbie. Now, with the release of Outriders Worldslayer coming at the end of June, pre-orders are live now. And for you newcomers, if you pre-order Outriders Worldslayer digitally, you will of course get access to Outriders the base game straight away. So you can start now and get ready for Worldslayer. Don't worry, June will be here quicker than you think. Time is flying. And that about summarizes it for today's broadcast. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. It has been a pleasure as always. And do join us for the next broadcast where we deep dive into the brand new Worldslayer endgame, the Trial of Taya Gritta. Bye-bye for now.
So, I guess that is it for the broadcast. And I don't think we can answer any questions just yet. We do need to wait 15 minutes before our embargo is up. But we can start talking about the game and what we've seen there. And hopefully we can actually answer all of your questions as soon as we hit that 5:30 time. Mr. Songs of Rays should be here now.
I am here. You finally joined me.
In my defense, I forgot to join the Discord, but that's not important. What's important is that we have now seen... Dallas has just bought the DLC.
I'm going to be buying it straight away. There's no question about it.
I opened, whilst I was watching that, I opened the Steam and I was like, what's the price then? So the price is, so UK, it's 25 of your great British local currencies. But if you buy it before it's released, then you will get a 10% discount. So currently for me, it's showing as £23.42.
Yep, that's...
In dollars, I don't know whether have they gone for the $25, have they gone for $30? I'm not too sure. But it's around about 25 great British pounds. I don't know if I can actually find out how much it is elsewhere. Yeah, what's everyone's thoughts on it then? What are you thinking from that? Just close that screen capture. What's everyone's thoughts on that broadcast then? So, as I said, we can't answer any questions just yet. We need to wait 13 more minutes. As soon as that 5:30 hits, I will start answering any questions that you do put in the chat, as will Mr. Songs of Rays here. I'll close that screen so I can actually bring up my cheat sheet that has all the answers for you. Good job I didn't open that during the stream because it literally opened up on that screen. New campaign does look brilliant. How much? I don't think we can answer anything just yet. I want to say how long the campaign's going to be. Looks like someone's just put in another chat. It's $40 minus 10%, so $36 if you pre-order, or 25 British pounds, or 23.
Steam tells me I can install content. I'm going to click that button. It's not going to do anything, but I click it.
You can give it a go. So it's everything that Dallas wanted. Anything about Game Pass? Answer those questions at 5:30, Robbie, for you. 12 more minutes and we can start answering the questions.
I failed to install. That's disgraceful.
Oh no. Send the report to People Can Fly. Yeah, so keep the questions coming anyway, so we can answer, as I say, in 12 minutes, and we can go through any and every question that you have. I believe we should have the answers for you for whatever you ask. If you know that anyone's watching anyone else's stream, if you want to tell them to come over here because we have all the answers, then that would be lovely. If you want to like the stream as well, give us a thumbs up on YouTube, give us a like on Twitch, and I think you can like us on Facebook as well if you want to. Don't forget, if you're new here as well, subscribe. I can see there's there was 27 people, and as I said that, it dropped down to 23, but subscribe because we're going to have a lot of content coming for you based on Outriders, especially with the embargo being lifted in 11 minutes, and Fluff McJohnson is now following us, so thank you very much for that. That is a Twitch follow, so like I say, we are on Twitch, we are on YouTube, we are on Facebook, we are on Planet Earth. So follow us everywhere. I don't recommend following us to our homes, that would be a bit creepy, but I mean, if you want to, by all means, just don't follow me inside.
Oh, balls, I've just seen a really good question on the Ambassador Hub. Let's
load that up.
Under game questions. Oh, that's a really good question.
That is a good question. How much early access time did we get? I'm sure we could probably say that.
We could probably say that one, actually, yeah.
Annoyingly, because we're really good at Outriders, we didn't get that much time. It's actually a genuine answer. So we were able to complete the first part of the campaign, basically. So it was all dependent on how quickly we could actually do the campaign. Nicholas Hogan has subscribed. Thank you very much for the subscription.
Well, hey.
Stick around, and there'll be lots to see, lots to hear, lots to know. But yeah, so we managed to play, I want to say 45 minutes. Or so, was it? Because we were able to play the first part of the game. But we could talk about what we did in it very shortly. So we have a video going live in 9 minutes as well. So if you did want to watch that, that will have a lot of the answers in there. If you want to ask us more detailed questions, then we could probably go into more details with those answers as well.
Now, I noticed I got an answer to one of my questions in the actual thing. So one of the videos that we may or may not have made turns out that we weren't given that information initially. So I now need to somehow figure out how to do an amendment.
What was that then? What?
It was over a number of, or an amount of things for the Apocalypse tiers. Because at the time we weren't given.
You have to tell me in a second, because I'm pretty sure I knew all the answers. Though. Did you just not ask me?
What, the Apocalypse tiers? You know how many there were in total?
Yeah.
Oh, balls. Oh well. It's fine. I'll just put it as a comment.
In fact, I say it in my video how many there are. So.
Oh, that'll work.
Were you not there for that interview? Oh well. No,
yeah.
So
I probably just haven't wrote it down.
I obviously have more information on World Slayer than Songs of Rage does, but
I didn't. Like, I clearly haven't wrote that down because I've had to rewrite it down. Yeah.
Oh, I think we can answer that one for you, Armando. When will I get an Akari chess piece? Hop into a stream with us one night. We'll probably start doing the community streams again very soon. And I don't want to say that I can guarantee I'll get you one, but guarantee I'll get you one.
I just want to guarantee that we can do that, but
I will.
we may be able to just keep doing Eye of the Storm until we actually get you one. Ah, it's killing me, the fact that we've got to wait 7 more minutes until we can actually start talking about this.
We've got how many minutes? Right, 7 minutes. Oof. Should we put a little clock up? Let's see. 6 minutes and 9 seconds. Jace with me. I'll be right back. Have time to finish up the client. Then be back for all the good stuff. Yeah, no worries.
Awesome.
So we have all the details ready for you for when you get back. So obviously just ask the questions. Things that we can answer now, like anything that you've just seen in that trailer, we can pretty much talk about, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose.
To an extent. But anything that hasn't been answered in that trailer, that we might have in front of me right now, we can talk about in 6 minutes. I feel like I'm going to throw up.
Oh.
Been grinding for days and you've still not got it. That's unlucky. I know a lot of people are after certain things, like Death Shields being one of them.
That was the bane of everyone's life, if I remember right.
Was there a new update today for Tiny Tina's?
There's been an update news, or maybe a hot fix that's also gone through. But yes, so their new DLC comes out tomorrow, I believe.
Oh, tomorrow. So, I mean, I might be around for that purely based on the fact that we're not going out tomorrow now, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, new content.
New content.
New content, which is going to be absolutely obliterated by the fact you can beat Ambihextrous and just decimate everything.
Oh, I thought you were about new content as in World Slayer. I thought it was on
No, I was talking about Tiny Tina, so you just mentioned it, but we'll still cover it. You know, we'll still get a couple of videos out, but the main focus for us is definitely going to be Outriders right now, because, I mean, I was in the Outriders actual chat, so I was looking at it, it was just watching the numbers just go up and up and up and up and all that kind of thing. Facebook was pretty much the same as well.
Facebook, I saw, last I saw was about 230 people watching on Facebook, and then there was, I didn't actually see how many there was on, because I had it full screen for the YouTube, but I saw 1,200. Apparently it's today, the DLC. If that is today, then yeah, I'll probably try and hop onto it. But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, drop your questions anyway. We'll answer everything that we can in 4 minutes. Like I say, we have more details than actually they gave in that broadcast. I think I'd say we pride ourselves on making sure we get as much detail as possible in these kind of things. But also we do have the video dropping in 4 minutes as well, assuming it's been scheduled correctly this time. But we don't talk about that. Oof. I just sent you a message.
Which one, sir? Oh.
Yeah, that one.
In the Ambassador.
Oh, I'm excited to actually be able to talk about it. It's painful. 3 minutes before we can actually say anything. Yeah, keep those questions coming on Twitch, on Facebook, on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up if you haven't already. That would really appreciate that. Let's just have a quick play around on here as well whilst we wait. But what's excited all of you the most about that then?
The pretty pictures.
Pretty pictures.
What about you, Dan?
Everything.
Oh.
I'm excited. No, I can't say that yet. I can't say that for 2 more minutes. DJ is not only good at keeping secrets.
To be fair, we almost weren't. It's, we did, last NDA was bad enough, you know, and that one was for New Horizon, wasn't it? For like, what was that, like a week or so? And we were just genuinely there going, I really want to tell people.
When
so
people would come onto our streams and be like, what was I saying? Like, I can't remember what I'm saying now, but asking, any DLC coming and stuff like that, you're like,
no.
We don't know.
No.
So DJ like the new skill trees and the 3 mod weapons. The new skill trees.
You've seen nothing. You you just know they're there. That's all you know. But in terms of what the actual details on them, oh boy, you aren't prepared. Oh,
shall we hop in?
It's genuinely killing me.
Shall we hop in and talk about the new skill trees first then? So I quite like that. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. New skill trees, right? So you have 2 sets of new skill trees. You got the Ascension tree, you got the Pax tree. Each class has its own Pax tree with 2 different trees on it. You know what? Let me bring up something for you. So I only have the Trickster ones in front of me at the moment. But let's close that down. Drag that across there. Let me just quickly turn that back on. Skill trees. Skill trees. That's what we're going with. So here we have the Trickster's Pax tree. Now, they mentioned you'll get 5... Did they mention? You will get 5 points to spend in the Pax tree. These will be... these points will be claimed throughout the story. You'll get 3 Pax points throughout the story. You will then get 2 extra Pax points at some point. Oh look, our video's gone live. At some point in the end game. So let's have a look at the Trickster one. We will do a video on this, so I'm not going to go too detailed on as to what is available here. But here, so you can see the different nodes. Similar to the thingy nodes, the normal tree nodes, you've got the small and the large ones. The large ones obviously give you a better buff than the small ones, but the small ones are still useful. So we've got Triggerman. Damage increased by 10% for each skill on cooldown. If I remember correctly as well, the bottom tree is more focused on defense on this one, and the upper tree is more focused on offense. Could be wrong, could be the other way around, but we'll do that in a sec. How powerful are the new points? Well, I'm going to show you this point. Let me open up this one. Not that one. Maybe that last one, isn't it? Nope. God damn it, where is it? Okay, so here's an example of one for the Trickster.
Nope.
Meticulous Schemer. 200% of killing damage on enemies tagged with deception skills is divided amongst other tagged enemies. So, as you can see, if they are in your bubble, if they are hit with your Venator's Knife or Time Rift, then 200% of your killing blow damage, so if you do 1 million damage, 200% of that, so that would be 2 million, will then get spread out between anyone else who has been affected by that skill. That is on top of what you already get with... what's this bloody mod called now? I can't remember what it's called now, but the top of the one that shares the damage. Another fun one is this one here, Spectral Spike. Damaging skills have a 100% chance to deal additional damage equal to 15% of your anomaly power. Consecutive triggers on the same enemy stacks, dealing more damage up to 750%. So that is going to make a spin to win build OP. You are going to be dealing pain transfer. That's the one, DJ. Cheers. But yeah, with this, if you do your Cyclone with this on, you are going to be dealing up to 750% extra damage if you stack it on the right enemy. So that is going to be ridiculous. Ridiculous. And do you want to have a quick chat about Techno?
Damn right I can. Let me open up the actual pictures though, because I've just been promoting the video that's just gone live. So, where are you, Outriders? Pax trees.
How big will the expansion be? We can't tell you how many gigabytes it is. That is not something we know. We can tell you how big in terms of gameplay it is. You are going to have, depending on your skill level, depending on your apocalypse tier that you play it on, etc., etc. They have said it's going to be between 5 and 10 hours of campaign content. And then they believe it to be around about 200 hours that you could probably quite easily spend in the end game content as well. Yeah, well, whirlwind builds are going to be a thing now. I am excited to actually see how that goes, to be fair. I might actually set myself one up. Might get one ready.
So we have a video going live tomorrow to be able to cover everything for the Technomancer Pax tree. But to give you like a rough idea as to what's going on here, basically the two trees are completely separate in terms of one is primarily damage related, the other one is more support related. So support builds are actually going to be a bit more...
The tricks are then because you've got one that's defense, kind of almost more featured towards defense, and one that's more...
Well, the
attack.
Technomancer is actually going to be a real good team player now with the bottom tree. So to give you an idea, so the top tree, the first node that you have to go straight into if you're going that way, means that any skill that gets activated either increases your anomaly power or your firepower by 15% for 5 seconds, depending on which is higher. So if you do go for an anomaly power build, you just get an instant 15% and it boost to your anomaly build. If you go for a top tree Technomancer, you get an instant 15% to your firepower, just for consistently activating your skills over and over again. So initially, that is a very strong node to be actually go for, but that is top tree. That's purely going for damage rather than going for support. If we actually look across just to the capstones, because I think those are going to be like the most important things. So the top capstone for the top tree of the Technomancer things, you deal 10% more damage to enemies for every single status that's inflicted on them. So now it actually makes sense to be able to stack as many as you can. The node that's before that allowed you to be able to, every time you refresh Toxic, if I remember right, hold on, let me find it. There we go. Inflicting Toxic on an enemy has a 100% chance to inflict a random additional status. So Blighted rounds are now going to be insanely strong for inflicting additional statuses. So there's now a chance it can inflict freeze just by itself. It also means that all the other kind of builds are also going to benefit from it. So they could inflict ash, it could inflict burn, all that kind of thing. So Pyromancer is going to get like a nice benefit from it as well. Could inflict bleed, so Devastators get something as well. So it's just going to basically it's getting that one. The middle of the capstones is when I get to it. There we go. Is Twin Reaper, which means snipers are now actually going to get a massive boost. Based on their current builds. So Twin Reaper means sniper weapon shots have a 70% chance to trigger an echo, dealing 50% of the damage dealt by that shot. So it basically means if you hit a crit, for example, that does 5.1 million damage, you then have a 70% chance for that to trigger again to do another 2.6 million damage on that same enemy. Which means that you're going to be doing anywhere up to and including 7 to 8 million points of damage on a single crit to a single enemy, and that's just basing it on the Critnomancer that we actually did a little while back. And they also have they've got something else. But if I go to the third capstone, which is Burrowing Charge, which critical shots injects an enemy with an explosive charge for 5 seconds, and dealing 100% of anomaly power as damage upon the next critical shot taken. So you're going to get a nice anomaly boost for just hitting critical shots in general, which is going to be quite nice. It's going to be a lot of fun to be able to mess about with those ones. But the real one that really interests me is going to be the bottom tree, because the bottom tree is where you kind of get your support from. So for that one, on the top one, we've got Lead Seeker, where your turrets pulse in a 20-meter radius. So this is introducing a new mechanic where your turrets kind of matter where you place them now. Because your turrets will be placed, you'll have a pulse that goes out from every single one of your turrets, so it makes sense to have like a triple turret build now, where they pulse in 20-meter radius, replenishing 25% of ammo and granting 25% increased damage for 5 seconds to you and your allies that get hit by the pulse. They have one before that, which also heals your teammates in the exact same radius as well. If you do go for this tree, it also means that you have a pulse around you as well, which is also going to heal your teammates, like all that kind of thing. So you're going to benefit from it as well. The middle capstone for that one, critical shots heal the nearest ally for 25% of their max health, and it introduces a new mechanic which is called Overheal, where the player also receives 20% increased damage for 5 seconds, and this happens on a 5-second cooldown. So basically, the more critical shots that you land, the more healing you're actually giving to your teammates, and the more damage that they're able to deal at the exact same time. And then the last one, which I don't think is very good compared to the one before it, but it'd be interesting to see how it kind of plays out. Our interrupt skills remove effect resistance from hit elites. So things like Scrapnel, things like Pain Launcher, things like the Rocket Launcher from the Tools of Destruction, every time you hit an enemy with that, they now have their effect resistance taken away from them. So the initial one that kind of comes to mind for that are going to be the Alpha Perforos and the Brood Mothers, with the way that they're able to resist your skills, so like Freeze and like Cold Snap or something like that. And they're now not going to be able to do that if you hit them with a rocket or an explosive, which is going to be quite good. The one before that's I think should have been the other way around, which is Hastened Influence, where you reduce your cooldowns of one of your skills by 1 second for every status that's removed or applied by any player that's currently in the team. So you're actually going to see all your skills come back so much faster as a Technomancer by playing this bottom tree. So there's a lot of stuff that's going to actually be coming this way. It's going to be so much fun to be able to mess about with these and see what kind of builds we're actually going to be able to do. But also we've got, for the bottom tree, which I do go into a little bit more detail with in the video for tomorrow, it does introduce a new kind of mechanic on top of that, where as a Technomancer you heal from doing damage. You know, that's common knowledge that's been in the game ever since it first launched. But Technomancers have always been known to be squishy. They actually have made it so that if you do go bottom tree to be able to go for support, it increases the amount of damage you do the lower health you are, which means that Dark Sacrifice is actually going to be a very good mod to actually go into now, especially with the 3 mods that we're able to have on weapons. So if you are purely going for damage, it may be worthwhile to actually put Dark Sacrifice on to lower your health to be able to actually get that more leech power, to be able to get more firepower, all this kind of thing. It's a very interesting kind of like dynamic. I'm not too sure how it's going to play out, but it definitely sounds interesting on paper.
Definitely. Amalie Kinta says you said you guys got to play a little bit of the campaign. How was the pacing of it?
It was all right. I genuinely cannot complain with
no, like I say, I think the bit that we played, it almost feels like there wasn't much that we played, but at the same time, we did play it for about 40 minutes. So we did get a good deal of footage from it, which you'll probably see in our videos. But again, we got to fight the, I guess, the first boss that you come against. It's good stuff. Definitely... Definitely like a good pace to it, I'd say. I mean, it gives you about 40 minutes before you get your first PAX point. And there's 5 to get. So it's probably, obviously, as you go through the Apocalypse tiers, it's going to get harder and harder and harder. So I'm guessing it's going to be around about an hour or more per point before you get to actually put it into somewhere. Removing resistance is great. Wish my trickster can use that so I can just rely on time rifts, a little bit of pain to do damage. Dallas wants to see the dev tree. Do we have a dev tree?
No, that was the one class that we actually didn't get access to in the end, unfortunately. Just because I think there wasn't many people that actually played as Devastator, so we weren't too sure who to be able to ask around to be able to get the tree. So what I have seen, I did see one node for the Devastator, and Firepower Devastators are going to get a big boost for going for their top tree of their 2 PAX trees that are going to be coming out. So it was something along the lines of...
I'll go with this.
What was it? I mentioned it to you, wasn't it? They're getting just a flat 50% increase to your magazine size, and then in the same node you also get something like a 25% damage boost or something along those lines. Basically, top tree, I feel like they would have realised that Firepower Devastators are actually kind of on the weak side of things, so they're actually boosting them up with the use of the PAX trees. So if you do actually plan on using a Firepower Devastator, it's going to be worthwhile going into World Slayer rather than actually just giving the DLC a miss. So that's completely up to you, but I think you will get a massive boost out of getting the DLC for this. We don't know the rest of the rest of the nodes, unfortunately, but that was the one that I did actually see. So, going to be some big things on there.
Arconis is here. Welcome, Arconis. You've missed the broadcast, but do you have any questions on World Slayer? Should we go scroll up and see what else there might be? Will the echo hit another enemy if the first snipes enemies dies?
That I'm not too sure. The way it's worded says no. I'll double check the wording on it. 1 second. It doesn't say the way it's worded is that shots have a 70% chance to trigger an echo, dealing 50% of the damage dealt by the shot. So unless the echo is going to be treated as area of effect damage, if that is the case, then that's actually going to help out massively with clearing, because that's the one thing that snipers kind of miss at the moment in this game, is the fact that they don't have any. It's kind of very reliant on the fact that you have to take one down at a time. So if the Echo is actually able to do that, which we haven't gotten confirmation on just yet, unfortunately, then I think this would be a massive boost to sniper weapons. The only thing that it doesn't also specify, and I do think this will actually be the case, is the fact that you've got like one-shot rifles, you've got the marksman kind of rifles, the ones that don't have a scope. I believe these are also going to be affected by this, so this actually does boost them as well to actually being a bit more viable, so you're not pigeonholed into just being assault rifle, basically, as being a Technomancer, so you can actually now have a really strong output either way. So it's going to be interesting to see which of those trees are actually going to be the strongest, though. But overall, it's really positive. It really is positive. I think actually I've got the Pyro one. Hold on. I got the Pyro one sent earlier. Let me see.
Let me just quickly answer Arconis' question, because...
yeah, you do that while I download this and I'll get this.
So Arconis is celebrating 8 months of membership as well. But Arconis does ask, when is the release date?
So it's coming for the 30th of June, 2022. So we're only, 5 weeks away-ish? But if you pre-order and get in early, you actually do have 48 hours early access into it. On top of that, I've actually just seen a Reddit post saying that you can sign up for closed betas to be able to test World Slayer yourself. So I will try and find that link. I'll pop that in the chat in a second. So if you are interested, by the looks of things, it's only available to Xbox and Windows Store. So basically PC and Xbox players, unfortunately, just because of how they're running it by the looks of things. But I'll find the link. If you're interested, feel free to head over there and get yourself signed up for it, I guess.
So Smoke DeCraig has asked, so welcome Lumpyhead, welcome, good to see you here. Smoke has asked, has the stash been increased to hold more items?
Do you want to answer that one? 'Cause
I will
can-
answer that one because I don't want you to go off in a fit of rage.
It hurts.
The easy answer is no. The longer answer is no. The longer answer is basically they haven't increased the stash as of yet, but they are open to doing so. So I think if it gets enough kind of traction, which I can't see why it wouldn't, but if it gets enough traction, then yeah, might see an increase in the stash. But as it stands, we won't see on day one, at the very least. As it stands, we won't see an increase in the stash size, unfortunately.
Oh Jesus!
We've also had a question: were we playing with the new armor and guns? Again, so
this is brilliant.
Difficult one to answer in a way because I think we possibly played with like new purple items.
Yes. So
but we
there was,
didn't actually get any new legendaries. But I'm going to move something onto the screen now. Feast your eyes on that.
On what?
The mod that's currently on screen. So we're going to get some fancy new mods.
I'm going to see this on my piddly phone. Hold on.
Well, you don't have to. I can just tell you it's the Iron Cannon one.
Oh, right. Oh, okay.
So yeah, you're going to get some new mods like that. I mean, let me just make that smaller because it thinks it's stupidly big on there.
Oh, you just showed the picture of it. Oh, I got
the video. So yeah, you can see there's some new guns there. So you can see the one that's currently equipped. We don't know the name of that at the moment. But that looks like it's going to be the one that does like an iron cannon. So there's going to be some fun looking new mods anyway. Tim has already pre-ordered on PlayStation. Brilliant.
I've already pre-ordered, and now I've been. As soon as I saw it, as soon as I would check the store before the broadcast even went live, because someone said, "Oh, it's available," and I went, "Oh, is it?" And I went to have a look, and it wasn't there. It's
so yeah, Songs of Rose has pre-ordered, but
Pyro's just got.
Maybe you shouldn't have done.
Maybe I shouldn't have done, but we'll see.
If you have Game Pass, we get a discount. Yeah, so Game Pass, World Slayer is not going to be on Game Pass as a quote unquote free game. But what it will do is they have said that by having Game Pass, you will actually get a discount. So I believe you get, is it 10% by default or 15% through Game Pass on any game that you have. I'm not sure if that is then also on top of the 10% on if you pre-order it as well. So you potentially get an extra 10% off if you pre-order. Let's have a look through the chat.
So actually, I can answer the Pyro questions because there's some stupid stuff in there. Not gonna lie, I wasn't too impressed when it started, but I've actually had a look into the rest of it, and yeah, some of this is just insane. So Top Tree Pyromancer, there will be a video on this, but Top Tree Pyromancer seems to be all about using firepower as well, and Bottom Tree seems to be more anomaly kind of focused. Now, to give you like an idea on some of these nodes that are in this. Killing marked enemies increase your damage mitigation by 5%, so you're going to be a little bit more tanky as a pyromancer as you start killing. Deal more damage to enemies when they're above a certain health threshold, or when they're below a certain health threshold as well. Critical shots increase weapon damage and stack up to 5 times. Increase anomaly damage. Enemies hit with Mobilize reduces the cooldown of other immobilized skills by 1 second. Critical shots on marked enemies turn all shots into critical shots for 3 seconds. So who needs Embalmer's Rage anymore? Increase your magazine size by 200%. Which on LMGs is just going to be daft. But then this pairs with the capstone, which is shots from assault weapons increase your weapon damage by 2%, and this affects stacks until you stop shooting. So the way that reads is if you take something like the Damascus Offering, and this is before we get into any other kind of boost into your weapon, like your magazine or anything like that. I can't remember if that's 100 or 150 round mag. I think it's 100, isn't it? It's got a 300 round mag, let's say, for argument's sake. Every single shot out of those 300 round mag is going to start increasing your damage by 2%. By the time you get to the end of that, depending on how it stacks, as if it's like multiplicative or if it's just additive, you're going to be shooting, what? Almost like 600% on that last shot?
Not bad, really, not bad. No
and then
railgun.
It's even worse if you have a 450 one.
So Arcanist says no railgun. They have said there are no new weapon variants. So there's no we're going to get to the variants that we've got already. So shotguns, we're going to see assault rifles, LMGs, snipers, etc. There's not going to be any new variants, but there are going to be a lot of new mods. So that will almost change the way some of the guns work. So I think the guns are going to be exciting, to be fair. Dallas asks, is the new gear level a different colour? No. Well, yes, but no, but yes.
Well, yeah, but no.
So if you get a I don't know, level, it was level 75, wasn't it? So if you get a level 75 gun, level 75 legendary death shield, it's going to look exactly the same as your current death shield. Just obviously it's going to be more powerful. If you get a death shield with apocalypse, if you get an apocalypse gear death shield, then it will show us a different color. So in that video there that I've got paused here, you can see the guns in the bottom right hand corner. Those ones are apocalypse gears. So apocalypse gear as well can be on anything.
Everything, yeah. But only for purples and legendaries.
I was going to say, I don't know if it includes greens and blues, but
no, it's only available on purples and legendaries.
I thought it might be.
So basically, any of the gear that you're actually looking for to be able to make builds, it's available on that. So, but that then does affect the problem, which obviously most people looked to be able to make god roll items from actually being low level. I think Play-Doh covered a guide on it, but everyone was low level, went to the shop, bought like a really low level assault rifle, started leveling it up, and then that became a god roll item and was something that you actually wanted. Because of this apocalypse gear, it actually does take that away from you. So you actually do have to grind to be able to get all the gear that you want now.
Is Erishkigal an Outrider? I mean, we don't know too much of the story behind her at the moment, but we do know she is altered. She is the leader of the insurgents, and she's evil.
Oof.
That's all we can answer at the moment in terms of who she is. Is the other end game useless now?
I wouldn't say so.
Well, I mean, we don't actually have any details on what the new end game is the problem. But I reckon they're going to probably do a few more expeditions on top of the trial of. Do you have it written down?
No. I did see it, and I know which one you're going to say. That's going to be annoying. 2 months is going to feel like 6. Well, to be fair, it is actually only just over 1 month away. Oh wait, no, it's not 2.
No, it's close to 2.
No, it is 2. Yeah, I'm tired. You can tell that I'm not reading this right. But 2 months, I suppose. I mean, obviously, it's better to have an announcement now than obviously everyone's still been waiting after New Horizon. But it's just promising, I guess. I mean, it also gives them time to be able to iron out if there are any bugs. It gives, with the closed betas in mind, it actually it's probably better in that kind of. Actually, where's the Reddit post? There we go.
More journals to find.
So, right, where's the stream? There we go. So if you are interested in signing up for the potentially of the closed betas and all that, there is a form that you need to head over to that Reddit post and fill that out. You should be able to sign up from there. I believe there's only limited spaces, but that's your best bet to be able to get yourself in for that.
Okay, it's going to hospital at 6:30. It's good to get it early and out of the way, I suppose, but just hope it all goes nice and smooth for you. They mentioned class-specific and universal legendaries. Did you get any to drop? Are you allowed to talk about the mods and the set bonuses on them? We can talk about anything we know, actually. We didn't manage to get any legendary drops, unfortunately.
No. So we only had the first level, didn't we? But the legendary drop rate on that was it's low because obviously it's the first of the Apocalypse tiers. So yeah, it was kind of against us to be able to try and find. I mean, we would have been extremely lucky if we actually got one in the end.
Yeah. I mean, we got some details on, like, there's going to be some changes as well, so it's not all about all of the new all of the new legendaries and stuff. There are going to be changes to the old stuff as well. So we've got things like the Torturous set is getting some changes, which I believe was an increase to area of effect damage. And I know like the Reforged set is getting reworked too. So I'm sure we can probably expect that that's going to happen with some of the Devastator, Techno, Pyro, and what's the other one? Trickster. I'm sure they're all going to have something reworked in their armor set as well. And I'm hoping that we get the Cannonball reworked as well. How many tiers? 40. So there's going to be 40 tiers, and that's going to mean that you're going to have a max gear score of 75. So max level is still 30, but weapon levels, weapon and armor level up to 75. But then you also have the Ascension tree, which you can level that up to 200. Welcome, Dake. What was the question you had again? I can't remember. You asked it in the other chat, didn't you? Ability to lock items and a bigger stash. I think I'm right in saying locked items is a no. Not as of yet, anyway. Bigger stash, I can confirm to you, is a definite no. Which is unfortunate, but fingers crossed that they do sort of like hear that and think maybe we do need to get a bigger stash now that we've got double the amount of legendary items in the game.
It's all very interesting. It is very interesting. Some of the footage that we actually got outside of the footage that we got was just insane, honestly. It's going to blow you away with some of the stuff that they've actually managed to come up with. So, really look forward to it. I mean, getting in on this beta access or something like that, it's just going to be insane.
But we can't talk about that.
No. Mainly because we didn't know anything about that. So,
no, as in, like, if we get in, you can't actually...
Oh, of course, yeah, but I mean, you know, everything that we know so far is obviously we'll happily divulge.
Unfortunately, Dake, what you need to do is delete everything you've currently got and regrind for the Apocalypse version of what you've currently got, and then some.
Pretty much. This is where the end game comes in. Similar to if you're playing Tiny Tina right now, and obviously you get the standard legendary drop, but you want a chaotic or a volatile, you're gonna have to keep grinding to be able to try and find that perfect drop. Basically, this is Outriders' version of trying to cover that kind of side of things. So overall, yeah, it's interesting. I like it. It's definitely going to give me more of a reason to be able to carry on grinding, and I think that's exactly what the community wanted from this. So I honestly just see this as pluses. Everything of this is just going to be. It's big. It's going to be what people wanted to be able to keep grinding.
Amelie wants to know: are we allowed to talk about the Ascension perk and point in detail? What do you want to know about it? So if I bring up a screenshot, copyright for singing X-Men. Where is it? Where is it? That's the packs tree. This is... there we go. Let's open this one up. So here we have the Ascension tree then. So we do have... I can tell you each and every node if you want to know about it. But what exactly do you want to know about the Ascension trees? So basically, you'll have a total of 200 points to spend. Obviously, you've got to grind out for those points. And I believe you can put all 50 into a single node if you wanted to. So, for example, we have here, increase your magazine size up to 6.2%. And if you put that in there, you'll then get the option to upgrade again, but it'll be less. It won't be 6.2% each time. It'll be something like down to 4.8 for the next one. So you'll be a total of 11% or whatever. This is stacking on it. Yeah, this is stacking on attributes. So this is extra. So they are all the same for each and every class. So we have magazine size, damage against enemy elites. What other kind of elite are you going to be fighting? Critical damage, critical chance, cooldown reduction. That's going to be a big one, especially for our man Pixel Reapers. He is going to absolutely love that one. He loves his cooldown, does he not? We've got weapon leech, weapon damage, long range weapon damage, close range weapon damage, armor pierce. You then got anomaly power. Back down to there for some reason. Resistance piercing, skill life leech. Yeah, skill leech. Increases status power, which is going to be amazing for those. Phaser beam pyros. Definitely going to go into that, aren't you? As a phaser beam pyro. Anomaly damage as well. Then you've got increase your max health, increase your armor, increase your healing received bonus, elite damage mitigation, and finally your resistance as well. So these are going to make builds even more interesting because not only do you need to look at what skills you want, you've then got to look at what mods you want, you've then got to look at what packs tree skills or packs tree nodes that you want. And then also in the Ascension, do you want to go for more ammo? Do you want to go for higher mag size? Do you want to go for more damage? Do you want to go for better life leech and whatnot? So it is going to be interesting to see what people actually sort of build, really, what different variants you're going to have with the same build, really, aren't you? So whilst Chris, I assume you'd probably go for like a anomaly power with your Devastator. You might get other people to go status power. You might want to inflict a lot of bleed and whatnot. Exciting times, don't you think? I think Chris has disappeared.
No, sorry, I was focusing on other things. Sorry, sorry. What did you need me for? Sorry.
I was asking you about the builds, how different and
For
varied
which
they're going
one?
to be
Oh,
because you've
this is
got
going to be huge.
because
Yeah,
you've got
I mean,
the Ascension tiers now. I could make a. Oh, thanks for the follow there, Tim. But yeah, I'm going to make one build. Let's say we go for a phase beam build. I'm going to do one. You're going to do something completely different potentially because you thought,
yeah,
I don't want status power that high, but I'll go with life leech for the increased survivability. Or actually, I'll go for a higher magazine because I'm an idiot and I'm going to use a gun more than I'm going to use the.
Well, Pyro's going to get a bit
How's it
of a
going,
boost
Ryder?
regardless, by the looks of things. So yeah,
How's it going, Daven?
You'll be able to play it regardless. But yeah, I mean,
How's it going,
obviously
Mr.
I can't-
Ginger? Oh, how many people are we jumping in here? Bully Balls, how's it going? I don't know how to say your name. Butch. Bozzified? Lieutenant Buzz Lightyear, get raided, you savage. Thank you very much. Thank you very much there, Lieutenant Buzz Lightyear.
Much love.
Much
Thank
appreciated.
You so much. But yeah, if you have any other for all the new turners off, if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to drop those right now in the chat. We'll definitely help out as much. But touching back onto the Ascension side of things, I think it just really kind of elevates pretty much every single build. You thought there was like, for example, there's so many things, different ways to be able to actually play a Devastator now. I mean, as it currently stands, you're kind of pigeonholed into Anomaly Power, but Firepower ones actually can get a lot of work done. It's starting to actually become a little bit more prevalent, and they actually get pretty much some of the fastest speedrun clears because they use ultimate damage thing. But as soon as you bring in this Ascension, like it's the levels, tier system, whatever you want to call it, we're now going to be seeing Anomaly Power increased. We're going to have to see Resistance Pierce increased. We're going to see Anomaly Damage as a separate thing being increased. We've got Damage to Elites in a different kind of node, which means we can put 50 points straight into that, which means Devastators don't really ever have to worry about Elites anymore. It's just insane. The stuff that's actually going to come from this is just big. But on the flip side, if you want to go for a Firepower, all of a sudden you can put 50 points straight into weapon damage, or you can balance the percentage increases across close or long range damage, depending on if you're going for Trickster, Devastator, or Technomancer, for example. And then you can just go straight into weapon damage, and all of a sudden you're going to see, like, depending on, because we didn't get to see how it kind of looks if you put all 50 points in. We don't know if it's going to be like diminishing returns or anything like that. I imagine it would be, because I think if they don't, then it's kind of instant. Well, that one's a flat weapon damage burst. I'm just going to go straight into there. So I imagine it's going to be diminishing to be able to cause us to be able to spread it out and all that kind of thing. So, but if they don't, 50 points straight into weapon damage, 50 points straight into Anomaly Power. We put Anomaly Enhancement onto our main gun. All of a sudden, we're benefiting from the Anomaly Power into our Firepower even higher. We then go into Damage to Elites, which means that every single elite or named enemy in this game is just going to get absolutely demolished from all this extra weapon damage that's coming their way. And then you've got the health or the armor on top of it to be able to survive it. It's just like, it's insane. But that's my only worry, is the fact that, you know, Firepower builds are probably going to get a little bit out of hand now.
How's it going to be fun? Can I pause you there, just so we can say... so first of all, I think we need to start with thank you to Lieutenant Buzz Lightyear for the raid. Party of 82.
Oh, wow.
So currently we're showing us 80 viewers right now.
Wow.
On top of that, thank you to Tim for following. Thank you to Pastafarian for following. Thank you to Rolanda for following. Thank you to... Ale0122 for following. Thank you to GFL Davin. I'm going to call you BCH680. It might be Bitch 680. I'm not too sure. I don't want to butcher that. Thank you to Graphics Fins for following. Thank you for Dark Wahlberg for following, and also Germdog 09. Thank you for the follow. But no, greatly appreciate the raid that's going on here.
Wow.
Was not
I kind of want to see
expecting
all
that.
80 of them actually just click follow and then just see you like just spend for the next half an hour trying to list off every single name that's coming there. It's
thank you to Dallas for becoming a member as well.
Oh wow.
Thank you very much.
Oh, we're gonna have to change the thumbnails now. Well, not the thumbnails, the cards at the end of every single
how's the
one of our
next
videos.
expansion looking? Yeah, it looks brilliant. I mean, there's lots here. I mean, we have our video on YouTube that explains pretty much everything that's coming, minus the end game content. We don't have too many details on that right now. But as for everything that's happening, there's quite a lot. There's let me just get my list up again. And we've got new legendaries, we've got new tiers, new gears, third slots, new trees, new max gear level, new leveling up system, free level 30 character boost, 70 odd armors, 20 odd weapons being added into the game as well. That's just legendaries, plenty of new mods, and obviously a new story as well, and changes to some of the older gear as well.
So yeah, so any kind of like general thing, if you're watching this stream after the fact, we have videos going live of every single thing that's going to actually be coming your way. Basically any kind of like changes, any kind of like new stuff that's actually going to be introduced, all that kind of thing. So make sure you head over to our YouTube channel, which is Babylon, obviously. And the videos are currently live. We currently have we currently have how many videos live? Why is that one not gone live? It's clearly after 6 o'clock. Why is that not gone live?
Have you done it for the wrong day again? But no, we've got plenty of videos.
No, it's clearly it's today. It's right now. I don't understand. I'm going to just set it as public. Screw it. I don't know if it just has an issue with like 3 videos going live at the exact same time or something like that.
No, so we've got plenty of videos explaining in more detail of what's happening, or what's going to be happening, and then we've got the one video that gives you a brief explanation as to everything as well. But yeah, we're excited about the new DLC that's coming out.
100%.
And I hope you are too. So I've seen Zet Yokai. I believe it was. Let me just double check. Yeah, so Zet Yokai said played the game for like 120 hours on launch, first 2 weeks. Haven't touched it since. Well, it's definitely a good time to get onto it, especially with New Horizon has come out. It's been out for a few months now. You've got some new expeditions to experience on there, and then you've also got, obviously in just over 2 months, isn't it? Just over 2 months, we've got World Slayer dropping.
And it makes sense to actually start the grind now, because I genuinely feel like we're going to actually start to need to stockpile some of the resources to be able to actually start making our way. So we're working on a current checklist to be able to actually, start working towards, or what we recommend that you start working towards to be able to obviously be ready for when World Slayer actually does drop. And obviously this will be a checklist that you probably want to do for every single character, because, apart from the accolades, obviously the accolades go across every single character, but as an idea, you kind of want to have your resources, so your shards for every single one of your armor pieces, your weapon pieces, all that kind of thing. You want to have those topped up as much as possible, because as soon as they drop that apocalypse gear, everything that you currently have is going to need to be replaced, because there's always going to be a better piece now. Especially that third mod is just so influential for your weapons, for your armor pieces. It's just going to be so impactful that you're going to need to replace everything on that. And there's going to be a couple of pieces, obviously, that are duds. But obviously, if you're going to be replacing everything, that's a lot of shards to be going for. I mean, it takes, 750 shards just to be able to level up 1 to max. So it may even go higher, because that was level 50 gear. So it'd be interesting to see what the shard cost is going to be for level 75.
It will be interesting. I didn't even think about that, to be honest. So Arconis asks one last question.
I just saw that.
Is this worth it? 100%.
100%. Yeah.
We only played it for about 45 minutes or so, less than an hour, but so much fun. Even though, we'll play in it remotely, so it wasn't the smoothest experience. But then when we look back on our footage, everything was perfectly fine. So it's definitely nothing wrong with the game. It was the connection between ourselves and what's it called, Parsec. But no, brilliant game, flawless from what we could see. At no point did we rage about any bugs. So
no, it was just instantly. You just left us waiting for more. Really.
Just remember, we did have another question above. Will we be able to kill one of those giant things? I think the question was.
Ooh. Well, there's a question. We don't know just
Yeah,
yet.
so Tim asked, my
I
main
don't
question
think.
is, can I kill a giant walker? So in the New Horizon update, this question was asked, or a similar question was asked of the developers, and they did say that there are plans to do with those creatures. So we don't know what that will be, whether it's... I think you saw in the trailer one of them was dead on the floor. Is that because you've killed it? I don't know. It's something that I'm excited to see, to be fair. Because you see them in the trailer, you never got to actually interact with them, but hopefully... I feel like they could be quite peaceful, actually, so I'm hoping we don't kill them in a way, but we'll see. 3 mod slots, how many can be swapped out? So nothing is actually changing with that. You still only be able to swap out 1 mod slot of the 3, and that will be slot 1 and slot 2. Slot 3, so if you get an Apocalypse tier gear, slot 3 is going to be a case of whatever you've got. You can't swap that out. So the grind will continue with that. So if you get a Death Shield with... can't think of any mods now. All the mods have just gone from my head. Killing Spree, Fortress. If you get... No, because you get a Death Shield with Fortress anyway.
I thought you said you were trying to remember what mods came on the Fortress.
No, I can't remember any mods in general.
On the Death Shield.
I'm thinking the third slot. But if you got Dark Sacrifice on it and you wanted it, brilliant. If you got Dark Sacrifice but you wanted Killing Spree, I think is one of them. Then unfortunately you're gonna have to keep on grinding.
Yeah. The positive to take away from it is the fact that we do believe that you can get tier 3 mods rolled as Apocalypse mods on gear. We have seen an item card that actually does suggest this, so there is a potential. Like, no, this is just from a trailer, like an advertisement trailer. So it could be subject to change, but we believe that you can get an item with 3 tier 3 mods on, in theory. So that means that Death Shield is actually going to be quite nice to actually see. Fatal Symbiont for close range builds, firepower is actually going to be quite nice to be able to actually put on there. Absolute Zero might actually be a really nice one to be able to get. So if it rolls with something, for example, Killing Spree as well as Dark Sacrifice. This isn't even factoring in the brand new mods that are actually going to be coming in. I mean, obviously Dan showed the clip of, or the video, well, not the video, the image of basically the Iron Cannon, that's what I'm calling it, which is going to be coming in. There's so many more things. If you watch the trailer, you managed to see a video, one of the weapons actually transform, and then it actually got fired. So basically, that's a beam that can actually potentially pierce cover. So we're going to see so many things. Basically, the developers have gone crazy on this. So what we've known so far is like a tiny section of what the developers have in mind for this DLC. So if you thought the mods that we've already got so far are good, you've probably seen nothing yet. It's going to be interesting to see how far this actually goes. Yeah, god rolls are redefined now. Yeah, basically everything that we got in appreciation packages are pretty much going to be they're not going to be completely dismissed. Like for example, if you got a god rolled Death Shield, you can still have that and you can still level it up to level 75. It's still going to be a very, very good option. But if you get a for example, like just comparing it to level 50 gear, instead of having a 99.4k Death Shield, you now have a 90k Death Shield, but it's in Apocalypse, and it comes with another good tier 2, tier 3 mod on it. It makes sense to actually go with the mod that's come on it now, instead of going for the God Roll. So they are still good, but it's obviously, there is a new version of God Roll that's actually there, that's needed, that you kind of need to be able to grind for. So there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of RNG to be able to go into this now. So we actually have a really good endgame grind to be able to go for.
Yeah, 3 tier 3 mods will be devastating. I think it's going to be it's going to be the I can't get a Death Shield all over again though. It's going to be I got a Death Shield, but not with the right bloody mods.
But it's come with Body Snatcher, and I don't like Body Snatcher.
Death Shield with Body Snatcher.
Death Shield with Body Snatcher and Dark Sacrifice.
that might actually work with Trickster.
It's
'cause
probably a nice combination, yeah.
You do Time Rift, pick people up, kill one, the next one just appears in front of you, still floating in the air. That's not a bad shout there. That is not a bad shout.
It could be good, but then you've got to obviously then balance that with the fact of, oh, well, could I just go for another damage mod? Which obviously is the same kind of like arguments that we've had throughout the whole of Outriders, so, it's one of those. But
no,
overall,
I want Body Snatcher now. You've sold it to me.
Snatcher.
I want Body Snatcher on a Death Shield with Dark Sacrifice and Fortress.
Okay, fair enough then. So there's a lot of view to be able to actually go into something bigger now. It definitely opens up. So you can just have 2 damage mods and actually have a utility mod now, which would be quite fun. So it's going to open up a lot. It'll be interesting. Like I said, we don't know the full details on how that's actually going to be managed, but that's just because we didn't actually get a legendary to be able to prove the theory right. But there's a really good purple that actually gets used nowadays, which is obviously like a one-shot rifle that comes with Grand Opening. And if you have that paired with Snow Squall on a Borealis Technomancer, the Snow Squall triggers before the Grand Opening mod. So now we can have a third mod on top of that to actually potentially increase damage, or maybe have another mod on it. So, for example, could we have Scrap Grenade that comes from the Juggler on it? So you actually have both Grand Opening as well as Scrap Grenade. There's a few things that potentially could be coming. So it's opened up the doors for a lot of things. I think it's very interesting to see what
there's definitely going to be a hell of a lot more viable builds. There's going to be a hell of a lot more builds in general. I wonder when we're going to see the best as well. When are we going to see? Here is the top tier, because there's going to be a lot of people trying to actually learn what now 3 combos work together in terms of mods. And then, like you say, you've got all the Ascension and the Pax trees on top of that as well. So it's going to be good fun.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to it.
Sorry, scroll back up in the chat for a minute, see what we got. Dakey's going to be streaming soon. Any nerf to any old mods? There's changes. I can't say for sure that there's any nerfs or any buffs. I don't know about that, but they did say they are looking into older, some of the older mods, the original mods, and armors and stuff, and they're going to be changing things up a little bit. I think you did notice one thing, didn't you? Actually, with one of the
for Technomancers.
There's one of the mods that you noticed that, Technomancer, wasn't it?
Yeah, so there's going to be a video pointing it out, and there definitely will be more videos on that topic coming out soon. But there was one mod that instantly came on one of my Apocalypse gears, which I've never seen before, does not exist in the current game, which means that we're actually going to see a lot more Tier 1 mods coming our way for pretty much all the skills. So there was a Tier 1 mod that reduced the cooldown of Blighted rounds by 50%. Which obviously, if like for OG Outriders players, if you remember, there was a nerf that came in within like the first week or two of the game launching, which reduced blighted rounds for the cooldown to now be what we know and have known for pretty much the best part of the year. But now there's a mod that's coming in to be able to reduce it back down to a respectable value, and the reason why they've done that is because there are like mods that actually benefit from giving anomaly power when you activate blighted rounds. And it just wasn't feasible to wait 45 seconds to be able to get that skill back, to be able to trigger that anomaly power boost, because by the time you've probably used it, maybe 8 times, if you're lucky, if you pretty much run through straight away and get it straight into cooldown and all that kind of thing throughout an expedition, which is just not viable. So now there is actually a mod to be able to cause that, and it'll be interesting to see if we can actually get that to roll on certain Apocalypse tiers or power pieces to be able to actually get that to fit into our build. So that's just a cooldown mod. I've seen footage meaning that Phaser Beam is actually casting faster as well. So I imagine that's going to be another Tier 1 mod that we're going to potentially see as well. But this opens up more speculation. Are we actually going to see more Tier 3 mods for the skills that we know and love? And if we do, what could potentially we see that? I mean, the weapon mods are already getting insane. We've got iron cannons coming down from the sky. Melee ability is actually getting a change as well. So we're actually going to see a few different things coming out of that, but that will be a separate video. That's not something I'm going to talk about right now because I don't know the full details. But yeah, but basically there's so much customization coming into this game now with World Slayer. Where does it kind of stop? Like, the PAX trees were so much more than what we thought we were going to be getting, so is what we're expecting, like, oh, maybe there's like a 25% cooldown or a 25% power boost to this. Is that actually far enough than what the developers actually already have in mind? So are we actually going to see like 16 shrapnel grenades on a cooldown? It's things like that. It's like before World Slayer got announced, or before we saw any of the footage to be able to actually play it, we would have thought, no, there's no way they would have gone to that kind of extreme. But after seeing what we've seen in the trailer, in the broadcast, when we've actually played, seeing some of the mods that are actually going to be coming through, now it doesn't seem like it's a stupid idea. It actually could be possible that we see something like that, which is just crazy to think. But I'd be up for it. I'd love to be able to throw out 16 shrapnel grenades. Something like, hey, give me 100. I just littered the whole battlefield with them. Just on a 5-second cooldown or something. I'd love it. Will they touch the beast hunts and the wanted hunts I've just seen from O'Malley? Not that I'm aware of. No, the base game I don't think is actually getting touched, so therefore you can still do that. Whether that awards Apocalypse gear is something for us to test near the time, I think. I have a feeling it won't, but I could be pleasantly surprised. That could actually be a reliable way to actually get to farm Apocalypse tier gear for legendaries. Potentially.
Thank you for the follow there, Jaeger Mike. I'm always tempted to have a bit of Jaeger, to be honest. Is it next to me? No. Oh, yeah, no, it is next to me. No, it isn't. No, that's it's Contrail. Thanks for the follow there, Loki, as well. Loki Tripper just followed on Twitch as well. Let's just have another look through the chats. Will they touch on beast hunts or wanted hunts? I don't believe... Well,
I just said that.
Did you? I wasn't listening.
Yeah, I just went through that. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that's it. I don't think they're touching the base game.
No, they're not touching the base game.
It could actually be a reliable way to actually grind for Apocalypse gear, depending on if they actually do fix the rewards for it. If not, then they actually might just.
They might have something similar. To be fair, in the latest, in the actual campaign, but they're not touching anything in the base story. So the base story is fine. What class are you grinding out first? To be honest, I do enjoy the Trickster. That's what I played on with our early access, I guess. I do like the Trickster. I feel like the Pyro is going to be a strong one. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm curious to see. I kind of want to go for Techno, not because that's my main, because I feel like I'm kind of more leaning towards a Devastator now as a main. But I want to know if sniper rifles are actually viable now with that PAX tree. I want to know if I can genuinely go as a Cryptomancer seriously into whatever endgame content there's going to be. Can I actually get away with using it? Can I actually inflict enough damage to actually still be a viable member of the team? Or is it best to actually go as a sniper and actually go for some of the support stuff that's down the bottom and actually provide healing? I think the Technomancer is offering more to me as like a build viability, just because it's actually going to be like a team player rather than just a pure DPS boost. Whether you go firepower or anomaly, so I'm more interested in that, I think. Granted, I haven't seen the full Devastator PAX tree. I think Play-Doh has done a video. I think I've just seen. So if I bring up his video, I can actually run through that and just have a quick check what that actually entails. Because then that might actually swing my vote. I think that one. So top tree, 15% weapon damage, mag size by 50%. Increased damage mitigation. So basically makes you more tanky. Increase weapon damage by the percentage of ammo missing from your magazine, and killing shots instantly replenish 30% of your magazine. So they're going to have something like that instantly brought in. So that's quite nice.
That does sound good, to be fair.
Reduce your kinetic skills cooldown by 50% of your armor piercing value. Interesting.
Yeah, there's going to be plenty of big changes that we're definitely looking forward to. It's going to take a while to actually learn what everything does as well.
Firepower Devastator is actually going to get a big boost here. Damaging at least 3 enemies with a kinetic skill grants you 30% armor piercing for 4 seconds. But if you damage less than 3, it makes every single shot from you from the critical for the next 4 seconds.
So you've either got crit or you've got...
Or you got more pierce.
Yeah.
So either way. Shots inflict bleed. Killing an enemy with bleed reduces ongoing cooldowns of protection skills by 1 second. So that's going to help out with the statue set. Protection skill, you release seismic impulses every 2 seconds that deal damage equal to 20% of your armor. So that's going to be like one of the armor mods that you actually get. So you're going to get that standard. Shots increase damage to elites. Kinetic skills remove effect resistance, so similar to what the Technomancer has access to. Seismic and kinetic skill damage is increased by an additional 50% of your anomaly power. Bonus damage is split amongst all damaged enemies, so your seismic earthquake is going to... Your impale's going to hit harder now. That's going to be nice. Seismic skills now inflict bleed as standard, so that frees up a mod slot. And anomaly damage to enemies inflicted with bleed is increased by 15%. So that's a massive boost. Increase your anomaly power and resistance piercing by 5%. And the stacks up to 3 times. Damage dealt with skills is converted to shield. So Devastator's now going to get the possibility to have shield. Enemies damaged by seismic become upheaved, storing 15% of damage received during that time and releasing it once the effect ends. So there's new status right there. 30% damage dealt by seismic skill is stored and added to your next seismic skill. Yeah, Impale's going to get a big boost now. I'm wondering if Impale's going to get some really nice mod slots. Next kinetic skill. So Gravity Leap can now actually deal quite a bit of damage. Same with Boulder Dash. Each enemy damaged by a kinetic skill reduces ongoing cooldowns of other kinetic skills. So Boulder Dash actually could be a really nice skill to actually go for now, if you go for that tree. Enemies damaged by seismic and kinetic skills receive 30% more damage for 4 seconds, so debuff Devastator is actually now a possibility, even more so. Each enemy damaged by your kinetic skill increases the damage of your seismic skills by 10%, and then seismic reduces ongoing cooldowns of your kinetic. I think AP and Anomaly Powered Devastator actually just got a massive buff with that Pax tree. That's insane. I'm really looking forward to that. That's really torn me now. Ooh.
You sound excited.
I honestly don't know which one I'd go for. I don't know which one I would do first now, because that genuinely sounds brilliant. And I don't know which. Both? Obviously, I'm going to be doing both. I'm going to be pretty much doing every single class all the way up to level 75 and Ascension all the way to 200 and all this kind of thing. It's going to happen, but I honestly don't know which one I'd start with first. Maybe Techno. Techno seems more popular in the community, so I think it makes sense for me to try and actually do some Techno content before trying to cover the Devastator. But I think Devastator is actually getting a nice buff from that.
We didn't get to try out the Omen or Noxious Spawn, no, but I think... Let's have a look. Have I got... There's a bit of video here where it does show it off. Let me pop this onto here so you can see. So this is some footage that we got sent rather than stuff that we recorded ourselves. So this is a level that we have no idea what it is. But you can see that Techno ahead is using what I believe to be the noxious spawn. It seems to sort of set toxic on the players and almost mark them. So whether the marked enemies receive more damage, maybe. I'm not too sure, but we're looking forward to playing it anyway. Again, when we can. You never know, there might be more opportunities for us to get some of the stuff, but we don't know that yet, unfortunately. Can you see Techno's having any viable anomaly builds?
Yes. Yeah.
Just leave it as that, yes.
Yeah, just yes. I mean, depending on, obviously, we don't know the full end game experience so far, so we don't know how difficult some of this content's going to be. What I will say is that anomaly power builds are, as a general, are going to get a slight nerf. Not because their power's being dwindled or anything like that. If anything, they're actually just getting like much higher. But there is something in a video that we're actually covering tomorrow where your skills will be disabled. So it's going to be dependent on how many enemies can actually inflict that to you. But keep an eye out for the video to be able to show you what that actually does and what that could potentially mean. But I think that's going to be... It's going to hit anomaly power builds, but I don't think it's going to be as impactful as, like, they're going to be unplayable or anything like that. But yes, I do think... I mean, if I bring up the PAX trees again for Techno, you'd have to go for bottom tree. I do think the triple turrets is probably going to be like one of the nicest ways to be able to go through this. But you can go top tree to be able to go for like burrowing charge, where your anomaly damage can be used as like an offensive tool. You also increase your damage of like certain like explosive skills by your status power, so that plays into things like if you were going for cryo turret, for example, you can actually build that up and obviously get some nice ways to be able to do that. So let's have a look. Yeah, so the main thing that's going to be feeding into it is going to be a skill that's in the PAX tree at the very bottom tree called Override, which this increases your anomaly power by 50% of your skill leech, so skill life leech. If you go into bottom tree Technomancer, you can start stacking up skill leech. I think there's also things on your armor pieces that also add to that as well, but you also gain more skill leech the lower health you are as well. So basically, you can see this stack up to some stupid numbers, and that means that Technomancers will actually get a boost from it. So the lower health you are, the more damage you'll actually be doing, all that kind of thing. So basically, it's going to be viable. How viable it is yet to be seen. I don't think the PAX tree for Technomancers for anomaly power builds is anywhere close to what the Pyro and what the Devastator are actually going to get. I do think that Firepower Technomancers are going to benefit the most from PAX trees. But you know, they should still be viable. I think they're still going to have a place. It's just going to be interesting to see what we can actually tell from the minigun, and if the minigun can actually, because it stacks up anomaly power through Massacre, is that going to be enough to be able to actually make anomaly power builds a little bit more viable? Did you cover the mods of Omen and Noxious Spawn?
Yeah, I just mentioned we didn't actually get to use them, but like I say, in that video, I did quickly display a video to show it being used, and it looks like it sort of inflicts toxic on enemies. And so it looks like it kind of marks them for something, so whether they get increased damage as well, maybe?
So there is mods that do that, yes. So we've seen the item cards that actually do mod damage. So it's going to do for example, I can't remember which one it is off the top of my head, but there is one that's going to be on a light machine gun that allows you to be able to fire a piercing beam that goes through cover, does so much damage, and then increases damage taken for every single enemy that's afflicted by that by 100%. So you're going to be able to be like that would be quite nice as a Technomancer, because not only are you boosting your damage, but actually from shooting, you're also boosting your teammates. And this is where I think the co-op aspect is actually starting to come into it. And I think this is quite nice from PCF and Square Enix, because Outriders, if you play the Expeditions as it is pretty much a solo DPS style. Is kind of how it was done from the start, from the get-go. And I think they're starting to change it now, so you actually can be benefits to each other, and your teammates can actually help you out, and you can help your teammates out, and it's mutually beneficial in a way. So at least that's how it's coming across to me. I'm interested in seeing more about it, but I think that's going to be a nice way to be able to put it. I'm going to leave you with that. I'm going to pop to the little boy's room, and then I'll be back shortly.
Boys. So Dallas is off to watch that video. Brilliant. Hopefully it's very informative for you. New customization for flag or vehicle or character. That is not something they actually mentioned. Don't think. Let me just double check my notes. No, so that's not something that they have mentioned. We can always ask the question. Let me ask now, actually.
Cool.
I've asked the question anyway. So, any new customization to flag, vehicle, or character? I've asked the question. I've just this message is Toby. Whether he'll respond, I'm not sure how quickly. He's probably got quite a lot on, to fair. So,
oh, about the truck and the flags.
Yeah, so it's something we never really thought about. Like, it's one of those things that's not for me. I've never really touched mine. I've added the odd thing onto it, and I thought, oh, that looks cool. Add it on, but that's about it. But yeah, it'd be nice to know, I guess. Actually, is there any other customization? Obviously, you're going to have all the new transmogs available with all of the new legendaries. So you're going to have all those to look out for. Oh, thanks for the follow there, Resi fan. Thank you for joining us. One thing I will say as well, a lot of people are following on Twitch. We do obviously have videos on YouTube as well. So if you want to head over there, drop us a follow or a subscribe on there as well. That would be brilliant, and that's where you get most of our content. We do stream, just threw that on the floor. We do stream on Mondays and Thursdays most of the time, unless anything comes up. And occasionally we get the odd stream in between as well. But once we get a response back from Toby about the customization, I'll let you know. But as I can't guarantee we'll respond in the next few minutes, because as I say, we've probably got quite a lot going on with the broadcast just being released. So
don't envy his position right now. It's
do we know if they're fixing the Borealis set when multiple people are wearing that set at the same time?
I don't know. I don't think that question was asked at the time.
They are doing bug fixes, to be fair. They are fixing bugs. So every chance that that's one of the bugs that they're fixing. Anything that they are aware of, then they have looked to get that sorted. Initially in New Horizon. Anything that was missed or couldn't be fixed on, I guess, short notice, will be hopefully fixed in World Slayer as well. I think they have had a bit of a focus really on not releasing anything that's broken. Because let's be honest, they wouldn't live it down, would they? So I think with the new World Slayer coming out, they're going to want to get that perfect. So any bugs that are currently in there, they'll probably try and squash them. And they're going to obviously try and not get any new bugs in the new content either. One of the Devastator sets still bugged. That's one for you to answer, Chris.
Which one's that? Oh, that will be the statue set. So I believe for everyone that's not currently in the know about that, if you activate your golem or if you activate your tremor, I I think Tremor is okay, but if you activate Golem and then you get hit and it staggers you, you instantly lose the set bonus. So I imagine this will actually be one of the bugs that gets covered, because I'm pretty confident they know about this. But unfortunately, I haven't got anything concrete to be able to from the developers to say yes, this will definitely be fixed. But I'm fairly certain, because it is common knowledge that that's the case, then that will actually be something they will look into to be able to get sorted. If not, we will definitely highlight it up to you or for them and be able to find out that way for you.
Can we lock gear? Unfortunately, as it stands, that's a no. It's something that they're aware that people do want, but it's not something that, unfortunately, we are, as it stands, getting on the drop. Tempest wants to know: will his Devastator still slap?
It will slap even harder now. Is basically the is the easy answer. Basically, looking at the packs tree, as soon as you get your 5 points in there, you go for some bottom tree. If you're going for anomaly power, you're going to be absolutely dominating by looks things, because some of these nodes sound insane for the Devastator.
You will feel like Will Smith at the Oscars. Can we say that?
Yeah,
is that something we can say?
I mean, Will Smith's not here, I suppose. I mean,
he might be. Will Smith, are you watching?
It's just someone random called Will who just pops up. There's genuinely like someone else just called Will who just pops up. But yes, your Devastator will be very strong by the looks of things. It doesn't look like Devastator's going to get left behind at all in this update. If anything, it's actually going to get elevated. So
I know this DLC will be huge, but a part of me is wondering, is there any future DLC beyond World Slayer? That we can answer. Again, it's not an answer you probably want. As it stands, they don't have any plans for any more DLC as of yet. And I did put in brackets on my notes on this, supposedly. Because I think they do want to focus on World Slayer right now. They probably didn't. If they have any future plans, they probably didn't want to give that away. So as it stands, we don't know of any future DLC. And their stance on it is nothing planned as of yet. But if this goes well, I mean, I know at least 4 people have pre-ordered the DLC already. So if this does go well, then there's every chance, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about people instantly seeing this trailer and just going straight for it. And I mean, that's great. And I genuinely think, like, when we may not see the highs of like what we had this like last year at this point. But if it brings back a majority of them, I think it's genuinely a positive sign that people still care for Outriders and they're genuinely interested for that new content to actually come their way. It's got that grind element to it now with this DLC, and I think a lot of people are looking for that. You know, there's so many people that are into Division. There's so many people into Borderlands and Tiny Tina's, for example, because they like that grind aspect. They like to be able to try and find all that thing. They're not necessarily here for events or anything like that, but they're after that grind, that end game, that almost that mindless kind of like fighting things over and over again, but not so it feels repetitive. And I think that's what they're trying to fix this with, the chance of having gear that drops with a third mod, much higher levels. So obviously your current stuff technically is kind of defunct, but not fully. So it doesn't put you in a position where you hate what you have. You know, it still feels fair as a system. So I think it's a great job. I'm really looking forward to seeing what the Steam numbers and all that kind of thing that will actually come back to this will be. I'm really hoping that it tops 50k concurrent. I feel when it launched with 120k, I feel like 50k is definitely doable. But you know, it's a waiting game. It's a wait and see. And I think they've got the stuff in this to be able to do so.
Dallas says that Outriders was his game of the year. No, you know what? It's probably the game that I've put the most hours in.
Sorry.
Over the last 12 months, to be fair. So 100%, it's a brilliant game, and I look forward to seeing what the future holds, really. Plans for community events. I think that's probably going to be a no, if I'm being honest. We know that the game's not a live service or game as a service or whatever you want to call it. So I don't think they're going to be doing anything like Christmas bringing in Santa's hats or Santa elves and stuff like that.
I wonder what you're referring to.
I'm just thinking of events in general. They're not going to be bringing pumpkins in in October and whatnot. I don't think, anyway, from how they are running the game, that's not something they're going to look to do, which can benefit in some ways and hinder in others, I suppose. I mean, the benefit is that if they're not spending time developing pumpkins, then that means that they've got more time to spend on the next DLC or Outriders 2.
Interesting choice of words. Spending so much time on pumpkins. It's
that sounds like a good song name. Spending time on pumpkins.
I'll let you answer the latest question from Dallas then.
Is the hunt worth getting? Hunters and Hunt Showdown? If so, I'm up for playing some now. If you probably not on the stream actually, because we'll keep the stream Outriders related. But yeah, no, 100%. I've really enjoyed what I've played of it so far. If that's what you're on about, Hunt Showdown. Bit of a steep learning curve, would you say?
Yeah.
Because you got to sort of work out what gun's best at what ranges. What's you got obviously different sights and different guns. Silence guns are harder to aim. You can't get any scoped silence weapons, so you lose out on that. You got the velocity of the weapon of the bullets as well. You got to sort of make sure that you're leading your targets. There's no drop, but there is velocity and whatnot. How's it going, MJ? Just got in. Is this the new games? But yeah, so this is the Ascension tree that you can see at the moment on for World Slayer, and then behind that we have the one of the 4 PAX trees, and then let's show you a little bit of content, I suppose. Let's get on to open that up. So, I mean, you can see this on our video as well. But this is the opening sequence or not sequence, but opening level of World Slayer. It's going to take you to new locations. It's going to take you to, well, it looks a bit like an ice location, a new desert location and whatnot as well. Skip forward a little bit. Story, obviously story. Skip the story, don't want to show you the story. Oh, hang on, here we go. Vehicle customization. So maybe there might be some more customization. So looking at one of the videos that we got sent. So this is the menu at the moment. So front bumpers, there is 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. There's 9. Maybe I feel like that's how many there were before, actually, to be fair. So there might be some more customization, but I don't know. New levels, though. New locations. New enemies. New weapons, new armors. Let's close that there because we don't want to spoil any of the story for you. So we've already played through it. We might do a video on the story so far, but we don't want to give too much away for you. We want you to try and experience that as much yourself, to be honest.
Yeah, there might be a couple of clips in the videos that we're going to be releasing over the next few days. Just be able to keep the footage fresh for you. But there's not going to be anything that's like major that's going to like spoil like the overall story or anything like that for you.
We might be coming to the end, to be honest. Not gonna lie. Is there any other questions that anyone has? Any burning questions that you think? I really want to know what this is about when it comes to the World Slayer. Will there be more loot storage? I like loot. As I've said before, you're not going to like the answer. As it stands, they are not increasing the stash. I personally think that's the wrong thing to do. And I think they are aware that people want more and will want more stash. So that could quite easily change before the actual release. But as it stands, the answer is no. Unfortunately.
I must apologise for my coughing. I'm kind of a bit ill. Sorry.
That's right, we're all ill. You know,
I do try muting my mic to be able to make sure when I'm having a coughing fit you don't all hear it.
You hear the start like and then mute.
Oh, it does actually go. Oh, that's all right.
You hear like the start of it and you go, oh. Yeah, any more burning questions that anyone has? What about second mod locket? Second mod locket needed removing. No, so it's going to stay as you get. So some guns, some armors as well. Sorry, to be fair. So some items are going to have 3 mod slots, but only slot 1 and 2 are going to be modifiable. Slot 3 is look at the draw. If you don't like it, tough. You got to try and get a new drop. Unfortunately, with that one. Could you explain the new difficulty? Yes, I'm glad someone actually asked about that because I forgot to mention anything about that. Have you deleted that video yet? Are you going to redo the video on the Apocalypse Tears?
No, all I've done is I've pinned it as a comment in the thing, just saying edit. It's actually 40 levels, but we haven't seen any screenshots past level 5. I managed to actually get some footage that showed level 1, level 3, level 5.
Okay.
To show like the increases, but I didn't have the, it only went up to level 12 on the screen that I could see. So I didn't know anything past that. So that's fine. I've just edited the cap is level 40. So
okay. I mean, we could always redo that if you want because it's a future date. But yeah, so challenge tiers and world tiers are being removed, and they're in fact being replaced by something called Apocalypse tiers. You'll have 15 levels as normal for normal content. So world tier 1 to 15 is going to be changed to Apocalypse tier 1 to 15. And then if you own the World Slayer DLC, you will then have 25 levels that are going to be World Slayer only. And the way that this changes the difficulty is going to be through modifiers to both yourself and enemies. So that will mean... I'm not 100% sure on the actual campaign side of things, but with endgame, I assume it's probably going to be the same to fair, but with endgame it'll be modifiers like you're going to have increased damage done to yourself, you're going to have maybe slower reloads, things like that. So we haven't got the exact details, but we know that they are going to modify both enemies and the characters as well to make them oh god, I just got another raid from Capo.
Oh,
Party of 52.
Wow.
Thank you very much, Capo. Welcome to the stream and welcome to everyone that's here as well. So we are streaming on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. So if you want to follow on any of those, you can find us by searching for us on each of those. But yeah, so the modifiers are going to be on both our characters and our and on the enemies as well. So they'll probably get faster movement speed, slower movement speed on us, and stuff like that. So it'd be interesting to see what they are. Whether it'll be things that we'll be able to see. So when we go into a expedition, will it say that you can? If you go to this challenge tier, you'll have this. If you have these challenge tiers, then you'll have. I don't know, you might have something improved. Leaking the goodies. The goodies are allowed to be leaked as of 5:30, was it not?
That's correct.
In fact,
God,
was it
don't worry, it's like that.
IGN leaked the goodies as of I think 10 minutes or 15 minutes before the actual broadcast dropped, which I'm very surprised at that someone like IGN would drop something like that. I'm very surprised at that.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone's got any more questions, feel free to ask. We're still here. Happy to recap over certain things. If there's anything specific you want us to go through, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, Capo, the embargo was lifted as of 5:30. So we can talk about anything and everything that we know.
I was waiting.
Get your videos out there. Get them out there. Yeah, IGN. I don't think anything's going to happen to IGN. I was going to say unfortunately then, but it's not what I meant. Because I think, let's be honest, someone like IGN will leak something like that. So they'll get slapped on the wrist. So please don't do it again. They'll go, okay, and then they'll pop over and say, oh, we've got this new game coming out. We'd like you to cover it because you are one of the, if not the biggest, the biggest gaming news outlet.
So we had O'Malley ask about the new difficulties. In what way are they new? Is the new difficulty different?
That's what I just.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's all right.
The modifiers to both enemies and characters. So we don't know exactly what it will be, but.
Well, we do have a video that's talking about so much of the apocalypse.
Yeah, see you later, Capo. Thanks for popping by and thanks for the raid.
We'll definitely catch you around if that's all right. Hopefully, I'm sure there's going to be there's going to be discussions in that Ambassador Discord, isn't there? So it's going to be a lot of fun. Did we notice any particular quality of life improvements?
Quality of life improvements. Did we really have enough time to notice any? I don't know if we did have time for it, really. As in...
Well, it was all kind of run their end, wasn't it? So, I mean, if you've got anything specific that you want to ask about, like if there's something on your mind, then I can try and think back and see if there was anything that caused that. But I know they're doing a lot of bug fixing. That's why they've been quiet for so long, because... unless there was something specific that really needed to be tackled after the New Horizon update, they said they were going to go radio silent. And that's why they've just been purely focusing on this World Slayer DLC to be able to make this as good as they possibly could, and it really has shown so far. But yeah, I think the only real major bug fix that we know about is the minigun. And...
Is that really. Quality of life? I don't know. I really like the minigun.
Kind of. I mean, everyone loved it, but
they wanted to make it how it is bugged. But I think it caused more bugs.
Here's a hot take, though. Here's a hot take. What if that's been fixed? Because we are getting mods.
It's going to be a minigun weapon.
What if there's mods that are actually going to be helping us out with that? No, I'm not saying that's definite, but what if that's the reason? They've gone, do you know what? We really wanted to be able to do something like this, so we're not going to take it away. That's what we were told with New Horizon. But now it's been taken away because it might cause a bug. Surely, as a potential, what if they were trying to make sure that it doesn't stack? Because they've already got something in mind for it.
Maybe. Who knows? Yeah, minigun bug. So the minigun bug was if you... I mean, originally I found out that it was if you used certain doors whilst having the minigun equipped, it would give you the skills of the weapon that you had equipped under that.
Yeah.
But it was a case of you could actually just go into your inventory, switch out your weapons, and that would also do it. So if you wanted a death shield with... no, not a death shield. A funeral pyre with Shadow Comet and Claymore on it, you could also get that onto your minigun. But they have now said to us that they have fixed that in World Slayer, so unfortunately you won't be able to use that trick anymore.
So you've only got just over 2 months to be able to use that now, and then see what happens.
But with the increases to like your as you can see on the screen, you've got the ascension tree with the increase to your anomaly damage and whatnot. You might be able to build something that's more powerful than that anyway. Tempest asks. Oh, it's gone now. I did see it. Where's it gone? Yes, about a carry somewhere. Oh, can I get an end game carry? And then he said about. You mentioned it was actually you meant World Slayer. Not today. Yeah, 100%. We'll be doing the usual Mondays and or one of the two, or both, or all of the above. We'll be doing some streams on Outriders, probably both for the first couple of weeks at least. Have we been working with the developers? We haven't been working with them. I mean that'd be brilliant if we could do that. But we've had a chat with them, so we've asked them our questions. They've given us our answers, or their answers, should I say? I've done that, but not maybe through anything. So MJ is possibly going to pass on the DLC because there's no more storage, but are fixing bugs like that, which is unfortunate. I do see where you're coming from with that, because it was a fun bug. The problem that they had with it is that it didn't actually interact with the rest of the game the way that they wanted, and it caused issues. With the in terms of the storage, though, I think they will do a U-turn on that. I reckon they'll bring in higher, larger storage very soon, because you've got 200 legendaries.
It's what everyone wants, isn't it?
Yeah, thereabouts. How many that you're gonna need to collect, and it's gonna be very difficult to choose between some of them. And I think the voices will be heard.
It'd be interesting to see if they actually did leave that in. What some of the mods would actually get up to, like the one that pierces through cover. So just do that as a minigun, and you just got beams firing through. You've got a laser minigun. Oh, jeez. But yeah, the only other thing that we've noticed so far is that there are going to be some mod changes. So ones that you currently already have will actually get amended. So, for example, the bone shrapnel that's very popular for top tree firepower technomancers, we believe that it's going to get swapped around with ultimate bone shrapnel. So no longer is it going to be the tier 2 one that happens on a killing blow. You're now actually, every single time you inflict a critical hit, you're actually going to have that pop off. So yeah, it's going to be a change. I imagine some speedrunners are going to have to mess about, like trying to find what the best gear is to be able to get this done now. But it's going to be interesting. I think it's a nice change. I think it's a welcome change. But you know, we'll see. Whether it's a nerf or not, I don't know. I think it's more of like a side grade.
Possibly. Welcome as well, Dunaman has just followed as well. Let's see who haven't I actually shouted out yet. So Raven20, Too Much Skills, 1980, Streaking, Capo, Resifan. I think I did Resifan and Loki Tripper as well. So thank you for joining us. We are over on YouTube as well and on Facebook. So if you want to follow us over on there as well, we'd very much appreciate that. So Attica Blue, Sambuca. Oh, Sambuca 92 has also just followed. So Attica Blue asks, so for example, the UI, the loadouts, any quality of life changes with that as well. Loadouts, I'm pretty certain there's nothing there yet. So they are aware that we are after it, and they have said to me in the past that it's something that they possibly would look into doing, but there's a lot to look into. So, for example, I think they mentioned in this, in the latest chat that we had as well, that, for example, to make something look pretty is very hard, especially in German, because they've got to make obviously the text fit on the screen, and there's a lot of German words that just go above and beyond compared to other languages. But yeah, they've got to try and get it to look pretty. They've got to make it work as well. So in the future, possibly, but nothing as of yet, unfortunately. Yeah, update is hopefully. Well, so hopefully we have played it. Update is going to be absolutely amazing. So we are definitely looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
Playing with friends that lives halfway across the world has been laggy. Any fixes to that soon? I almost feel like that's circumstantial. Personally, we've not had issues, I guess you could say. When it comes to people joining us, but again, those people have sort of complained on occasion, not all the time, but occasion. They have complained about like the lag and whatnot. So difficult one to say. I don't know if they're going to change their infrastructure. Really, but only the future will really tell with that one.
Overall, it's all positive stuff, I think.
What do you think the playing viewer is going to be like when stream? So, how many people are going to be watching whilst we stream? Well,
we've seen.
Honestly,
in the past
I'm kind of hoping more people are going to be playing it than watching the stream, kind of thing. Like, probably not the right way that I should be looking at this as a content creator. But I do just want to see it do well, to be honest.
So if someone hasn't got the DLC, they're going to be able to play with someone that does. Yes, they can, but
they can only
they won't be able to get like Apocalypse Gear or anything like that.
Well,
so you can't drop it for them. You can't. They can't have access to it at all. Basically,
Apocalypse Gear is that? I can't remember now. Is that going to be only?
It's only in the DLC. We had that confirmed. Yeah, because I did ask the question saying that will Apocalypse Gear drop if you're in a lobby with someone else that's got access to that? Will it be like coming to Eye of the Storm, for example?
You won't be able to. It won't be like
to have access to
one person buys the DLC, so obviously we'll be getting the DLC. It won't be like we have it, so anyone can join us and do the World Slayer stuff.
Exactly.
It will be if you don't have the World Slayer DLC, then you won't be able to play the World Slayer content, and you won't be able to get like say the World
stream
Slayer
carries a little bit interesting, isn't it? Because if that's the case, we're going to have to ask beforehand: have you got access to World Slayer?
It might come up and say though, like might come up and say. One member in your party hasn't got this DLC.
Be interesting to ask that one. I think we should ask that one a little bit more.
It's one to ask. Actually, we could ask that question. Like I say, I'm pretty sure we've got to confirm that you won't be able to get, like say, the gear without World Slayer, and you won't be able to go beyond tier 15 as well. So you will be stuck at tier 15. But whether I'm sure you can probably drop in, and it will make it obvious that player hasn't got the content to actually play certain levels or end game and whatnot. Did they fix the Devastator's statue set bug?
No, so with that's the one that we discussed a little bit earlier, because obviously if you activate Golem, you lose the set bonus. If you get stunned or you get hit and staggered, then you lose the set bonus. So all the bug fixes that as far as we're aware, there's not going to be any like bug fixes or patches coming until this patch actually this expansion kind of gets released. So we don't know if this is going to get covered in that, but I believe it is something they are aware of, and if it doesn't get patched, then that's something that we will be highlighting to them. I imagine this is going to be the same case, similar to. If you remember all those Dev News Thursdays that we always used to have, and obviously it was addressed to the community about, like, this is all the bugs that we're aware of, this is what's behind. I would be surprised if they don't go back to that format. I think that this DLC would bring enough of the community back that they would then start looking into that and doing it again, because it was a nice format when it was around, when it was active, and I think some people kind of miss it. But I imagine that's something that they would definitely look into if to be able to get that one sorted. If so. But I mean, we're getting legendary set updates, so I'd be surprised if that's not one of them that they've already looked into and already got sorted. I really would.
I didn't think about the servers. I say we don't know anything that they're changing with the the infrastructure of the game. To be fair, so it's not something we can answer. Unfortunately, we can ask the question if there is anything changing in that respect. But I mean, no one's actually asked the question yet of is there an offline mode? But as it stands, things like that, no, there's no offline mode or anything like that.
No. I don't know if that's even something they would consider, to be fair.
I almost feel like
with how the game's currently set up.
Quite a big job to do that, I'd say. Cannonball, we don't know about that yet, but we do know they are changing some of the gear. So, for example, they are changing the Torturous set and the Reforged set for the Pyro.
We're getting more
we don't know
universal sets, though.
We are getting more universal sets as well, yeah. We don't know exactly what the changes are for those. We know the Torturous set is going to get something to do with AoE damage. The Reforged set, no idea, unfortunately, at the moment. They didn't go too much into details with that with us. But the older gear sets are getting some kind of change to them in some way or another. Welcome Wooded 7 has just followed as well. That's what we're here for. We're streaming so that you can ask the questions, to be fair. That's what this stream was set up for.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. I mean, we've kind of been looking forward to the questions because we play this stuff and we want people to actually ask us about it. So, the more questions that get asked, the more interest there is in the community, isn't there, really? So, not against having questions being asked. That's...
Can we re-roll attributes on legendary or other gear? We can't currently, can we? That's not something they mentioned to us either, unfortunately.
No. I think it's just going to be the legendaries are already set in terms of that side of things, and then obviously it's the mods that you're able to change. So. I wonder how it affects Pyros when he plays with the Borealis set. Oh, you mean with the with everyone wearing Borealis, it boosts up with the freeze damage. I don't know if much has been said about that one. That one's probably one. I feel like if I asked the question, they would then, if they weren't aware of it, they would then fix it, and then that then looks bad on us. I feel like it's one of those kind of like if I don't mention anything. Or if we don't mention anything, or no one else in the community mentions anything, then it will just get swept under the rug, and we can actually just keep that in, and everyone will be happy. But I think as soon as somebody goes, "Oh, what about this?" then they'll be like, "Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, we'll get that fixed." And then all of a sudden, you like the instant hate of the whole community for having that fixed. I get the feeling that's how it would be taken anyway.
Mm-hmm. Too bad about the rerolling attributes. Oh, I missed the question above. Sorry, the Pyro sets rework is very good news. Any info about balance? Many TAC ARs still OP. I'm hoping they're going to sort of cover that with the new legendaries. So they're going to get some new legendaries in. I'm sure we picked up a couple new purples, didn't we, whilst we were playing as well?
Yes.
Or could you link the beta?
I can indeed. I've still got it open. So,
so I reckon the balance of weapons is going to be sort of changed with the new legendaries that come out. So, for example, we've seen footage of, I assume, an SMG or an AR that basically looks like a flamethrower. Shall I see if I can find that footage?
I will drop it in the Twitch chat as well. Just if anyone is aware that you can actually sign yourself up. It's primarily for Xbox and PC players by the looks of things, unfortunately. But If you're looking to be able to sign up for the closed beta to be able to test World Slayer before it even goes live, then this is the link to be able to take you to the Reddit page, and if you have a check on there, it will take you to the form to be able to get signed up for it. As for... I've just seen some interesting things about the rerolling of tributes, blah, 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 that's fine. Debuff from... Yeah, that is crazy. Don't say anything, fair enough, I won't. Hopefully the snipers get a buff. They are, technically. So, snipers are... Instead of getting a flat buff across the board, Technomancers are actually going to be able to use snipers to a greater extent. So if you check out... There's going to be a video tomorrow that's actually going to go through the pack tree in depth for Technomancers. If you check there, there's going to be a capstone on there that sniper rifles are actually going to get a nice, kind of like a 70% chance to be able to inflict half of their damage once again as an echo. So this is going to affect rifles as well as sniper rifles, so non-scoped and scoped. And basically, the higher damage you deal with that one single shot, basically has a 70% chance to be able to inflict that damage once again. And it's going to be insane. So, for example, when we did the Critnomancer build at the latter part of last year, which I do think is probably one of the most consistent sniper rifle builds that you can actually do right now, you can actually hit for around about 5.1 mil as a crit, as a standard shot on that. So with this Echo on top of that, you're going to be hitting for in excess of 7.5 mil per shot, which is going to help pretty much whittle down most of the bosses that are actually going to be in this game. And obviously it can only get higher from there because obviously there's going to be Apocalypse Gear, there's going to be ways to be able to increase our firepower even more, and that's not even factoring in the rest of the build, which allows you to be able to have like plus 15% to your firepower. There's other things on top of that. It's crazy, basically. The sniper rifles are going to become like one of the most single hard-hitting guns in this game as a Technomancer. This isn't looking into like packs for other classes, unfortunately, but just purely as them.
Do you have any images of the new pyro tree, Chris?
Yes, I do.
Send them over.
I've got to make... Send them over. What, in Discord?
Yeah, just pop them in Discord and I'll pop them up on the screen. We'll do a quick...
Sure. I'll put it in resources because I think that's probably the best place.
Will Devastator get more armor piercing or some equivalent to make gun/firepower builds viable?
Yeah, through the pack tree it is.
The short answer is yes for that one.
It's getting a massive thing. To be fair, the anomaly power side of things for Devastator is going to be better through the pack tree, but the firepower is still getting a big buff. And that's also to factor in things like Boulder Dash, that's also factoring in Endless Mass, it's factoring in basically just damage in general. It's going to get a big buff overall, but it does require you to get 5 points into your pack tree first to be able to start seeing all of that. Just 1 point itself just increases your weapon damage by 15% and your mag size by 50%. So you're already going to see like a big buff there, but you'll see the majority of it come in the more pack points that you start getting and the further into that pack tree that you actually go. That's all the images, I believe, but there should be 20.
Let's just say
yeah, big stuff. Big stuff.
Just drag that across onto there so you can see our beautiful Discord chat. There you go. So here's the pyro tree. We'll just do a quick run through. We're not going to go too detailed into it because there will be a video on it as well. But yeah, so deal 15% more damage to enemies above 80% health, 30% more damage to them below 30. Killing marked enemies increases your damage mitigation by 5% for 8 seconds, and that can be stacked 3 times. So if the enemy's got Ash on it, deal damage to all enemies in a 4-meter radius, doing 35% of the damage dealt. So that's a bit like the pain transference, isn't it? Pain transfer.
Yeah, there's going to be some good mods there. I think it's. I think I kind of need to get my hands on the build to be able to see how effective that's going to be, because it feels like there's like small increases, but the further you go into the tree, the more they stack up.
Mm.
So I kind of need to mess about with it a little bit more to be able to see how good it's going to be. But I do think it's going to be good.
Each enemy hit by an immobilized skill reduces the cooldown of other immobilized skills by 1 second.
But remind me, isn't that Ash Blast and Feed the Flames?
Yeah.
Which were primarily used for firepower builds, if I remember right.
True.
So I don't know how it doesn't feel like it's going to be that impactful in like an anomaly power, but it's going to help out being a bit more consistent with firepower, for example. I just. Paulo, so the pyro ones, we actually only got the screenshots of those come across earlier today, so we'll actually be making a video over the weekend to be able to actually go into that. So, but we will definitely actually have a video up from it, so we'll actually go into it a little bit more in depth. We'll have a little bit more of a research. We'll help out a little bit more rather than just showing the screenshots for you. So, but you know that's over the weekend, so that's not going to be coming until like maybe Monday or something like that, unfortunately. On Devastator, one node increases mag size by 50%. Is there anything like that for Pyro? Yes, they get one that increases it by 200%. So they get even better. It's middle top, near the end. Yeah.
Carbon ammo, 200%. Not bad, really, is it?
It's the capstone afterwards that just really makes it for me. It's just the fact that the longer you fire, the more damage you're going to be dealing out. It's
going to be some good stuff. Some excellent
Which,
stuff.
crazily enough, now that I think about it, you get it on a big mag LMG that has anomaly enhancement or something like that. Use Feed the Flames. Use volcanic rounds. Volcanic rounds already pierces through and goes against resistance instead of armor. You're firing up to 450 rounds of volcanic rounds. And then before you run out, you use Feed the Flames, fill yourself back up to full, and then carry on going again. It's just it's going to be interesting to see if pyro firepower can actually then compete with firepower Technomancer in terms of like which is the best firepower build to actually go for, just for general mobbing and all that. But we'll see on that one. You know, that's we'll see how that kind of comes.
I think we've covered quite.
DJ's got a good point there. Ash Blast with Ash increased range and overheat. It sounds a bit OP because you'll be hitting what, like 15 enemies potentially, but like, as soon as you've got a full room.
True.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a good point. You know, you just instantly have overheat back again. That's but whether you'd go for the cooldown over, you know, something that actually boosts your damage or your anomaly power or something like that in the bottom tree. You know, this is what kind of needs a bit of testing to be able to actually see which is the most effective tactic to actually go for. But yeah, mag size was a big drawback for the firepower pyro. So yeah, having something for 200% is a bit crazy. It's
just a touch,
just a bit. Especially since you can have armor mods that increase your mag size by like 10% and all that kind of thing. So it'll be interesting to see which actually stacks first. But yeah. Overall, I'm excited to be able to get my hands into this, to be able to actually start putting some builds together. And I mean, there's, you know, we've got the original skill tree. We've got this on top of it to be able to make it, you know, more deadly. You know, it's going to be interesting to see where it kind of goes.
Tempest doesn't believe in firing guns, so instead, he's just going to go pyro and burn everything to the ground.
Yeah, exactly. He just wants to send walls of fire at people. It's all positive, basically. I think that's the main thing to really take from it. I mean, if anyone's got any more questions, if not, I think maybe we can call it there.
I think so. Yeah. Any more questions to end off? DJ said currently would much prefer to go top 3 for Pyro just to get the second node to decrease the cooldown of Ash Blast. Managing to get it down to about 9 seconds, he thinks. That will be good, to be fair.
I was going to say, I'm not too experienced when it comes to Pyro, but I would definitely give it more of a go once this actually drops. A whole bunch of Broodmother in the face. Yeah, I do agree, Paulo. I do think if it had loadouts and all that, it would be so much easier to be able to swap back and forth, and it would be a really good DLC for that. But, maybe that's something we'll actually see in the future. There's nothing to say that won't get patched in or something like that, but, it's... If that was the only thing that was holding it back, with everything that we've seen so far, I think I would be happy with that. I suppose it's.
I'm just reading.
Like I
some
said, we haven't
comments
even scratched the surface just yet.
Yeah, I was just reading some comments on Facebook, and there's one guy that is constantly just saying, "This DLC will be free. It's free, free," and everyone's like, "No, it's not. It's $35 or whatever."
It's not. It's already on stores. And everything.
Like someone said, like it's $35 or 25 British pounds and whatnot. And it's like, no, it's free. It's not free though.
Maybe if he wishes it enough, maybe it will actually become so.
It won't cost anything. Laughing face. I think it will. But... thanks for hopping by to everyone, really. Yeah. A very successful Twitch stream, I must say.
It's been very good, yeah. It's been nice. Oh,
well, there's a lot of comments on Twitch.
It's I think if we're going to call there, shall we raid someone?
Let's have a look. Here we got.
I think we should raid Dake. Another ambassador. Why not? We've had 2 ambassadors raid us. Why not raid another one?
Why not? Indeed. That's it. Yeah. How do we do it? That's a good question.
Good question. I can't do it for me because I'm logged in as my personal account. So.
I'm logged in as us. What if we go to? Let's go to Dake. I honestly don't know how you do it. I can report him. That's not what I want to do, though.
To start a raid, type /raid, followed by the name of the channel you wish to raid.
Oh, we're not following Dake at the moment. We are now.
Alternatively, click the raid channel quick action on your dashboard to select a channel from the suggested list or search for a channel.
/raid. No matches. /raid channel. So, Dake's Gaming.
Wait, why did we just get a random shout out on Dakes just saying thank you for being awesome, Babylon? What did we get that for?
Hang on, do I need to? Hang on, I might need to in our chat. That might be why. So if I go to /raid Dakes Gaming. Let's go.
It's Chaos Chamber. We need to reach Chaos 35, Dake. You know?
That's true, but no, I'm going to be doing a bit of Outriders today. Yo, Babylon, thank you for the raid.
There we go, so we've done the raid. I think
yeah.
We'll call it there then. And
I saw him when I was talking about all that stuff. He was going like, "Nani?"
It might be on later. We'll see. I've not eaten anything today yet. I'll see if I can stomach something.
If you're not, then we can sort something out, so not to worry.
I'll let you know anyway. But yeah, thanks for watching all.
Yeah,
and
get
keep
it
yourself
back.
safe.
Thank you all so
keep well.
much.